Is that a cool way to open?
Does this look super dope? Like, be honest with me. Right?
Mike was like, this would probably be a cool way to open.
That'd be cool. Anyway, welcome to Rapid Reviews. I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We are the Brothers Murph. And yes, we are doing the super rapid reviews. The rapidest of reviews.
The rapidest of reviews.
For the love of God.
Gosh, yeah. So we started doing this a couple years back.
Yes.
Where Mike was like, hey, we do
started the trend, frankly.
Like, we did. It was started to try to rapid reviews, monthly reviews. At least I think we were the first people to do it. Maybe we were wrong, but it felt like we were the first ones. But Mike thought the idea to do rapid reviews, which we thought was a really great idea.
Just vibes today, folks.
And I have nothing online. But then Mike at one point was just like, hey, at the end of the year, he's like, we should do every game we've played. That'll be fun.
I don't know.
And it was fun, to be fair. The problem is every year we play more and more games, so these videos have gotten longer and longer. And last year particularly, this video was 6.5 hours long. Now, granted, if you've been with us, you know now that our rapid reviews have become less rapid and kind of just become us just talking about the games we've played.
We got to get back to the rapidness. So at least for today.
So for today particularly, and we are actually going to be changing the way we do rapid reviews moving forward, just to kind of keep the time down. Because like realistically, you know, if we play like 80 games in a month, 30 of them are new. The 30 new game reviews are the ones that kind of matter because all the other games are games we've already played before. And like 99% of the time,
in theory, we're replaying them because we like them.
Yes.
And we'll tell you otherwise if that's not the case, because there's occasionally that.
That's the case when we'll try something again. But yeah,
you know,
if we don't have much time to play games recreationally as much anymore, so if we're replaying a game, it's because we like it. So now we're gonna do kind of rapid reviews with the new games, kind of how we have forever, and then the old games, we're going to mention all the old games we played and show all the old games with the little covers that we do, but we're just gonna let it run and be like, yeah, we played this game, it's good, yeah, we played this game. We're just gonna go through those because we don't need to review your a billionth play of Forest Shuffle.
I like it a lot.
You do like it a lot. You play it a lot. That's the review. But it's like we don't need to review that game.
That's the review.
We're playing it because we like it.
Right.
So in this one, we had, oh God, what was it? It was like 250 something new games.
I think 256 new games.
And then
427 overall?
Yeah, something like that. So it's a lot of games. Last year was like 350. So we have a lot of games to get through. So we're going to be good this time.
We're gonna be disciplined.
We're gonna go very quickly through the new games. We're gonna only spend 30 seconds on each or whatever.
4 or 5 minutes. That's it.
Maybe not even 30 seconds. We really want to keep this close. It was way too long last time. It was way too long last time.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like if they were really disciplined, they'd already be rapidly reviewing, but that ain't us. That ain't us.
No. We got to get through this part. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. We are here live, by the way.
Sign off. If you are live watching this live or after the fact even, sign off with where you are listening from. We already got one from Colorado.
Hey, let's go.
Hope Colorado is beautiful and snowy or whatever it is that you want out of Colorado right now. In California, we just want not on fire.
Yeah.
But that is the opposite of what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sucks. And our hearts and vibes go out to LA for sure.
Indeed. So we're going to talk more kind of about the BGG Top 100 video we're going to do in our. We're going to do a top 10 anticipated games next week, which is when we kind of talked about it last year. We're going to talk about a little more next year, but that video has been put on hold for various reasons that we'll get into, but basically the video has changed. So that's the reason. Another Sacktown. Let's go.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. 916 in this house.
That's right.
In this office.
It's for multiple, yeah. My area code's still LA, but your area code never changed from Sacramento.
Yeah. You know, I've had 2 cell phone numbers in my life, and the second one I had very early on, and I've never looked back.
Yeah,
never had a need to. Anyway, let's get to rapidly reviewing 256 new to us games.
So one thing we usually do during rapid reviews is we shout out all of our new patrons for the month.
Yes.
We're not going to do that for the entire year, but we just want to say thank you to our patrons. We really appreciate you. You've helped quite a bit to help us afford rent and all that kind of stuff. So just want to shout out all the new patrons. We got all the old patrons. Thank you so much. We're not going to go through them all because that would probably take a little while.
But we really do appreciate you. It helps us out. Please become a patron today if you aren't. And let's hop into this. I'm so excited.
Gotta keep hydrated. You have water? Or you still coffee?
I've got coffee. I'll water up. It's over there, so I'll grab it.
Cool. All right.
What up, Super Record? How you doing?
Oh God, hold on.
Oh man. Oh whoa.
It's tough. Whoa. It's tough.
Whoa.
Hold on. Go back.
Whoa.
Go.
Bop. We played Age of Innovation.
We did. Oh God, this game's great.
The latest Terra Mystica game. So if you know Terra Mystica or Gaia Project, it's similar except for it takes the factions and makes them so you can mix and match and stuff.
Yes.
So a little more variability. Really like this one a lot. Gaia still wins it, but man, Age of Innovation is.
Yeah, really
I'd play
good.
that right now if I could. You want to play it?
Yeah, we can play right now. I still haven't played Terra Mystica though, hilariously.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I feel like we kind of have, you know.
We played Agropolis.
This is in there's, I think, Naturopolis and many of these, Sprawlopolis.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these from Button Shy. And it's super fun. This is the first one of those games I've played. And it's a really fun kind of overlapping cards, making stuff and trying to satisfy the goals for that game. So Button Shy does it again. Great game. Played Altered with Dave Luza, and then on BGA a little bit. This is a collectible card game, a la Magic and stuff, and I actually quite like this. I played a couple, I'll talk about the other one later, a couple of these like CCGs this year, and I get why people get so into them, and it's fun that at least some of the content for Altered is on BGA, because I enjoy it, and I would happily play it again.
Yeah. So I want to keep a running tab of positive and negative reviews. We get crap sometimes because most of our reviews are positive because we like games.
Some duds in
I
here.
don't like disliking things, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
It's a weird thing to criticize people for. You like stuff, and I'm like, I'm sorry that your life is sad and you don't.
But I'm curious of how many negative reviews you're going to have. Not very many, because also nowadays, 95% of games that come out are at least fine. So it's like...
So just calm down on your negativity.
The Anarchy, we got to play this. This will be coming out next, well, I guess this year, most likely.
Yeah.
This is kind of a sequel to Hadrian's Wall. This is by Garfield Games. And this is kind of like Hadrian's Wall plus a little bit. There's a whole like solo campaign. But this is basically a roll and write kind of on steroids. It's ultimately a multiplayer solitaire game. It really is a solo game, which is why they made a whole solo campaign for it. I have almost taken this one home a couple times recently to play it some more, because I really, really enjoyed it. I never really got super into Hadrian's Wall.
This is, to me,
but I really like the Anarchy.
In every way better, just because they took the great stuff from Hadrian's Wall and then like added on and iterated and then made that solo experience that much better.
Hey, thanks, Rodriguez. Thank you so much.
Tribute for the eyes. The coaster eyes have spoken.
Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Drop some love for Jay Rodriguez in the chat.
You're slowing us down.
Appreciate you so much for that super chat.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what do we got? Ancient Knowledge. This is a really interesting game where you have this kind of card.
I've always been interested in this one.
Row. It is cool.
Yeah.
I played it on BGA, but you have this card row, and you're basically, things are aging. You're losing stuff to time, and you're trying to like remove knowledge and stuff. And there's all these ways to kind of mitigate where cards are and how you do stuff. I found it really interesting. Maybe it's because it was on BGA. It felt like it was long. I was like, I get it, and I wish it was a little shorter. But that could have just been because I was playing async. So I want to play this again, though. I think you'll really like it. It's got some cool stuff to it for sure.
Yeah, fair. All right. We played Agropos, the board
apropos of board games.
Oh, those are Jeeps. Agropos. Apropos of board game. We played this with Jamie and Jeff and all of them. This was a party game about
Spring.
Yeah, but like, what do you do? It's a party game. What do you do?
It's sort of, there's one about movies as well, and it's sort of like you get categories of like a game that has like dice, and you have to name a game with dice, and then you'll add another card. It's a game without meeples though, so you need to now name a game with dice and without meeples, and it kind of gets harder and harder to do. It was very fun as like a party filler.
Yeah, it was a great little party filler, kind of like test your knowledge of board games, test your knowledge of music or movies or whatever. There's a couple of different ones. They're good if you like those kinds of games. If you don't like those kinds of games, you won't like this.
That's good for 10 minutes of fun.
Yeah, again, it's not going to stay on. Ooh, here's a negative review.
All right, Pop off, King.
Now, here's the thing. I've said it multiple times publicly. I think Cole Worley is a genius designer, but Cole Worley does not make games for me. Not even for Mike. Mike likes these games kind of more than I do. Cole
I'm
Worley
at least intrigued by them more than you.
Does not design for me. I do not like super in-your-face, high-interaction games. That's what Arcs is. I did not like Arcs. It's one of my least favorite games I've ever played in my life. But again, I am fully acknowledging it is a masterpiece, just not for me.
It's just totally fine.
Yeah, it's not a game for me. You can acknowledge that something is good and not personally like it. That is Arcs for me.
It's just vibes.
It's great if you like those kinds of games. I really, really do not. And so this game, no matter who made it, no matter what theme it was, I was never, ever going to enjoy it. And I knew that going into it. I was like, I'm going to hate this, but
you're still open-minded. I'm going to play it.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I hated it. But again, that's not really the game's fault.
I enjoyed it, and here's the thing. They announced it. I think it's coming out next year, 2026, Arcs Digital. And like Root, as soon as that comes on digital, I'm buying it. I'm getting it. And that's going to be the way I play, I'm sure. So
that's how it is. That's how it is, y'all. Played Avant-Garde.
A nice unexpected gem this year.
Yes, unexpected. Shouts out Don Gilstrap. Don Gilstrap made a bunch of people buy this Dice Tower West, and I appreciate you for doing it. Avant-Garde is this really cool game where the whole box folds up in on itself, and so when you want to play the game, you just unfold the box, all the cards are in their little spot, and you can just play the game.
Like ready to go.
There's literally no setup. It's kind of wild. And it's a game where you're basically trying to make kind of like a run, where basically you have cards in your hands and you're playing out cards, and you can play a card, and the next card you play can either be the same number or the same color.
Kind of Uno-ish in that way.
Kind of Uno-ish. So if you have a 2, you can play, if you have a purple 2, you can play a green 2, but then you can play a green 5, and then you can play an orange 5, and you're basically trying to play out as many cards as you possibly can. Then you can buy new cards. New cards will have special powers that when you play them, you get to do that. You're basically trying to make the longest runs you can. If you do so, you get trophies. Whoever has most trophies wins. I thought it was really cute, really, really cool.
Kind of great in like a pure deck builder way. We're going to be buying better cards, and that will ramp up what you can do on a turn. And sometimes there's just like beauty in that simplicity.
Yep.
Yeah, liked it a lot.
After Last Airbender, Last Stations Rising, whatever it's called.
Aang's Destiny.
Aang's Destiny.
This is a reskin.
I was in Fire Nation Rising. That's the other op.
Yeah. Yes. This is a reskin of like Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, which is a deck building game, and this is a deck building game that goes through the show of Avatar.
Learn how to deck build.
Through several chapters of these boxes, and it kind of teaches you how to deck build. The first game will be very simple. You won't have access to all the cards, and you're doing kind of classic deck building stuff where you are producing symbols to buy better cards and to kind of put onto the story elements that you're moving through, and then you're also defeating the bad guys by doing your fighting stuff. And then as you go through the boxes, you get more cards, more characters, you level up characters and so on. And I think these are fantastic games to help introduce people to games.
Yep. They're kind of weird if you're already no deck building, because they're kind of like, hey, if you already know deck building, you can start at game 4, but then you end up kind of losing like a whole third of the game, which kind of sucks. But again, if you're new to something like this, these games are incredible.
Yeah.
And if you like Avatar, the live action movie, this one's perfect. I've never played Awkward Guess.
I played Awkward Guess, which is one that like people have suggested for a very long time. It's kind of like Super Clue that uses an app to kind of verify bits of information. You're passing cards, which will, or taking a look at cards and stuff, which will give people more information, and it's sort of like a whodunit Clue style. It is very fun. I totally get why so many people like it. Especially, I think you can play larger player counts and stuff, and you know, it's better than Clue because it uses a little bit of technology to help you along the way.
Remember Dice Tower West with BGG Con? We can get this one played because I've always wanted to play it.
It's great.
Played Azul Summer Pavilion.
Cool. I played a lot of Azul Summer Pavilion. This is one that I weirdly haven't played. This is not a new game, but it's probably my favorite Azul.
I feel like Summer Pavilion.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have,
it's probably my favorite Azul. You're kind of taking these diamonds and stuff and then putting them into their color flower, and the spots you fill 1 through 6 will require that many tiles to kind of complete them and stuff. And I played a lot on BJ. I played it a lot.
Yeah, good. They played backgammon.
I played a game of backgammon, man.
Did you play through well?
No, it wasn't.
Or
maybe it was with Ruel. It was on BGA. I haven't played backgammon since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But like,
we played with Uncle Joe a lot.
That weird kid knowledge where I'm like, I weirdly do remember how to play this, even though it's been decades.
Yeah.
Backgammon, you all right, my book, man.
Hey, man, you've been around for a long time for a reason, baby.
I played Bandata. This is kind of like, I guess, Biblios, I think is what it is, where you're manipulating dice and stuff.
I played this, me and our friend Vischer played this at a Strategicon. We were at Carl's Jr. Getting lunch, and we played this. You weren't there for some reason.
I don't know.
But I played this back thing. I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a good little game. You're kind of ultimately trying to get like sequences of dice and the right stuff to complete these bird cards.
Biblios with birds.
Yeah. Birblios. Played a game of Bang Async. More or less just clicked around. It was a fine time. Bang is a game that like I first played in college way back when, before I was like a board gamer. That's why it's on the new list, because it's new. But I don't need Bang in my life.
No. There's better those kinds of games. Yeah.
2 negatives so far.
We played the Barcelona expansion. So we had played Barcelona before. We played the expansion, the Passe de Gracia.
Yes.
Which is essentially a passage between Barcelona and
Garcia,
that's right.
The 2 cities there.
That's right. And you're basically, so we really like Barcelona, but now there's like a pathway where you essentially have your people kind of going back and forth between the two cities. Depending on where you pass over, if you've met the requirements for that little spot, you get bonuses. It was cool. I really like Barcelona a lot. We have had it multiple times now where like we've had a lot of the same. Basically, the game times out based off if this one type of citizenry comes out a lot. And they just came out really quickly every single time. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of ended. Barcelona always ends faster than I want it to.
Yeah, it's like I'd like it to be 10 minutes longer.
Yeah, quicker than I can get my engine up.
But
yeah.
it just, you know.
It just kind of comes out to, yeah, depending on what citizens come out when. But it's good. I really like the expansion. But Barcelona's not quite great for me because it always ends quicker than I want it to.
Yeah, I agree that the expansion helps a little bit. I played Bayonets and Tomahawks. I've been exploring
you have.
wargaming.
My gosh, the amount of war games that are on our table out there. Oh my gosh.
More. This is one I need to play again because I did play it on Board Game Arena, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read the rules.
Yeah.
I was just clicking around. So this is a TBD.
How many
to
of
be
those games are
determined.
going to be on this list?
There's a few. There's a couple. Not that many, but there's a couple where I'm like, I could probably just click around and find out.
Yeah.
And probably with a war game, you shouldn't do that. But that's not against the game. That's on me.
It looks terrible.
How dare you? It
looks
It was very fun. I enjoyed myself.
terrible.
I got rolled.
Biomos. You played this. What was I playing? You were playing this at BGG Con.
Yes. No, I played it with Jeff at BGG.
Con.
Oh, what'd I say? Spring. Yeah. I was thinking, guys, doesn't matter. It's not great. It's not a great game. I think it's not great.
Wow. You heard it here.
It's okay. You're slotting in these little discs, which are like biomes and stuff, to complete these cards that basically need to make a pattern. But it's kind of so quick and simple. And granted, we played the basic side, so maybe the advanced side offers you up more levers to pull. But I was just sort of like, the cards either come out and they're things that you kind of already have, or they don't, and then the game's over very fast. I played a couple times. I'm like, okay, I don't, but maybe the advanced side would be better. So far, yeah.
Fair.
Who said we're never negative?
It's true. I'll tell you right now, I don't think I like Black Forest that much.
I liked it, man.
I don't think I did. I
Really?
need to play it again. We've only played it once. Black Forest is kind of like Glass Road 2.0. The more I've thought about it, I don't know if here's the thing, I didn't dislike the game.
Do you even like Uwe Rosenberg?
I don't know anymore. I didn't dislike the game.
I enjoyed it.
But this is kind of like Glass Road 2.0, where you have these resource wheels, you're making glass, you're making like stone or whatever, bricks, and you're basically trying to build these buildings, fill out your board. It's very Uwe Rosenberg in that way. Glass Road has, basically the actions that you select are through these cards, and there's a really interesting system where if you choose the same cards as someone else, because you all have the same ones, things happen. If you choose unique cards, things happen. This basically takes out all of that, and now it's a board that you're kind of moving around. And I don't know, do I think Black Forest is bad? No, I think it's fine. But I think this, without that kind of interesting card play, is like the most, it's such a generic Euro game.
We will not tolerate blasphemy. How dare you?
I think Glass Road is
enjoyed
better.
it.
I think Glass Road is
can't
better.
dispute what you say.
Glass Road is more interesting.
Yeah, but this is my take on it, and we'll move on. We're wasting too much time. My take on was this: is Glass Road more interesting, the card play and the kind of mind games? Yes. Is this more playable? Yes.
I think this is more playable.
Yeah.
I think this is easier to get into if you haven't played Glass Road.
I think it's easier to play it like better for two player.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I liked it.
I didn't dislike it. I just thought it was kind of like,
Jimmy, you must be the tiebreak if you're listening in. You must be the tiebreak.
Jimmy,
You played it with us. I know
from
Jimmy's
the
going
other
to side
room.
with you, though, so actually don't.
That's true.
Someone time out Jimmy for me real quick. All right.
I thought it was fine. I think I like Glass Road better. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
This
all
game's
right.
great, though.
This game is great. The Blockbuster Party Game is actually a great party game for movie fans because
Yes.
it's not a trivia game like in this scene, where was Anthony Hopkins, right? It is a kind of like a monikers.
It's kind of like
or
Time's Up.
Time's Up,
Yeah.
where you have, you're gonna have cards, and you can put one to like, I can describe this movie using whatever words I want.
Yeah.
This one I can describe the movie using one word, and this one has to be like charades.
Yeah.
And so the fact that like you can just describe these movies, it makes it much more accessible.
Yeah.
The packaging looks like the Blockbuster thing. It's honestly very good. I would play this again for sure.
Yeah. If you like movie trivia, this is great. Oh, we played the Carnies. We finally played the Carnies, the Bloody Inn. We've had this expansion for a while. We saw it at a game store, bought it, and then it just kind of we played Bloody Inn multiple times while having this expansion, and for some reason never added it in. But during our Halloween stream, we did add it in, and it's very easy to add in. This basically has like 3 different modules, and the modules were all really, really cool. Yeah. And I really liked them all. This is also one of those games where, like, cool, we'll probably just never not play with the expansion now.
Yeah, might as well.
Even if you're teaching a new person, it wouldn't be like hard to teach them this stuff. You can maybe take out like 1 or 2 of the modules to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, it was great. I love the Bloody Inn. It's super unavailable, so I'm sorry if you can't get it, but it is very, very good.
Yeah. Very good game.
Yeah,
very
good expansion. Yeah,
I played Bomb Busters.
I still played it.
We got it right over there.
I regret.
We could play it.
I had a chance to play it and I didn't, and I kind of regret it.
That's okay. Bomb Busters is kind of a cooperative deduction-y game where you're diffusing bombs. Super Rat Creature, if you're still in chat, taught it to me at BGG Con. I really like it. I've only ever played like the kind of initial training missions, and from what I hear, as you go through the kind of 66 missions, they are very different. They change stuff up a lot. So I want to know like how they do that, because we've just played the basic version, but it's enjoyable and I want to play more.
Yeah, there you go. Bomb Busters. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. We played Boomerang Australia.
Let it play for a second.
Oh yeah, hold on. So
Boomerang Australia we played. It's great. Europe. Great, probably the hardest. USA, great.
Yeah.
It's got America in it, so that's awesome. Boomerang are the series of games are roll and writes, and they're all kind of a similar thing where you're going to be drafting cards, and these cards are going to have all these different elements, and so you're kind of having to choose, like, okay, well, do I want the city, the part of Australia, the city this is, or do I want it for this symbol over here, or do I want it for this thing over here? So you have to make some really kind of fun, tough decisions, but it's ultimately very light roll and writes. And each version has like a little bit of a unique thing that they do, but they're all very enjoyable.
Yeah, I like them all. They're great. They're all similar enough where you probably don't need more than like one of them, but they're great. I really enjoyed it. Look how quick that was. 3 reviews so quick. Boom. Play Boop the Halls. Great. I love Boop. I love Boop. And I really like Boop the Halls too. Boop the Halls as a kind of 3D element.
Yeah.
And now
a new way to win.
And a new way to win, because now there are these ornaments that you're putting on the tree, because you're on a tree, and you can boop the ornaments, and then basically if you boop your opponent's ornaments off the tree, you get to keep it, and if you do that to all 4 of their ornaments, or 3 of them,
you win.
And then you can win the normal way with Boop. It's great. Make a Boop for every holiday, please. I will buy every single one of them.
Arbor Day Boop coming at you.
Was that?
Arbor Day.
Dude, all trees.
Just cats and trees, get on. Bat Factory.
I still haven't played this.
You didn't?
No.
Who did I play with?
I don't know, but you didn't play with me.
It's good. If you like Kanban, Kanban's better, but it's good.
There you go.
I would play it again. Gosh, that tripped me out that we didn't play it together. It uses the same kind of style of like the action selection stuff, which I enjoyed. So far, we've played a few of these like lighter Lacerda games, and I don't like them as much as I was hoping I would.
I think that's the general consensus. Is everyone's kind of like, they're fine.
Because like the big games are so great, and that's like kind of hard to compare Bot Factory to Kanban.
We'll talk about another one that's in the ages.
But it was solid for sure. I'd play it again.
That's also a good moment to say, like, we also might forget a game, like. We have 407. We might have forgotten what's on there. Also, if we just can't quite remember the nature of the game, we played like 400 plus games. Also, forget who we played with. We're sorry. Just want to throw that out there
I'm
as
like, who did
a general apology, because sometimes we played 400 something plus games.
Was it with you, Jimmy?
Oh.
I want to play this so bad.
This game is terrible.
Why? Why is it bad?
I really dislike this game. This is like a kind of like trick-taking kind of area control game.
Sounds awesome.
I played this with Jeff and Jamie Foster. People, make sure to check them out. And their friend, we kind of had a little game day when I was up there in Nova Scotia, and I really disliked it. And I won, so it wasn't because I got crushed or anything like that. I don't know. I just did not vibe with it. You're doing like trick-taking, and that's going to kind of, depending on like whether or not you win the trick, is going to kind of dictate like what you do. All this kind of, I don't know. Maybe I need to try it again. Maybe I was just in a not great place, even though I definitely was in a great place because I was with some of our best friends. But I really, really dislike this game.
Dang, hot take alert.
Also, in my opinion, got one of the worst covers in the game. So
I kind of like the cover. I like the colors and stuff.
Incorrect. It's terrible. Right. But nonetheless, I'm not sure about this one. I didn't dislike it.
Wrestling 1993, I mean, it was a fun game experience. We played it with Monique and Naveen.
Who we never get to play games with, so I love the experience of the game.
Yeah, I agree. This is just a Euro
that
that kind of gets into the weeds with like, you can do this, but you have to put money here into this column, and only there's certain areas available to put actions on, and whoever has the most in the column gets this bonus down here. And I'm like, all interesting things, but it's just, to me, I'm like, there's just like one too many things, and I don't know. I would play this again, but yeah, I'm the same boat where I'm like,
Here's the thing. Here's
it's never going to hit the top 100 for us.
Here's about Brussels 1993.
1993.
Yeah, you know, it's the same. I think this game is outstanding if you play it a lot.
Probably.
This is one of those games where if you're going to play it like once or twice, like inevitably we are, I think we're never going to appreciate it.
Yeah, I think there's maybe something to that.
So I'm kind of like, but because I'm like, I feel like if I played it more, I would get the strategies and stuff like that. But here's the thing, we won't, because we just don't have much time to recreationally game, and because we weren't like super hot on it right to begin with, it's hard to get those games back to the table.
That's not necessarily on the game, that's just more that the way we get down with the hobby and stuff. Yeah, so.
And Chad, I do like trick takers. Chad said I don't like trick takers.
How dare you!
I don't like arcs. That's not a trick taking game.
Sakura out here in our Discord gave the old 45 Days of Dice Tower West shouts out. We appreciate you keeping the days tracked down. Hell yeah.
Right. Kabanga! This was a great little card game. We played this with the BGG crew.
Yes. You are playing these cards down, and there's something about like the gap between, like if there's like a 7 and someone plays a 16, if anyone has cards between those two numbers, they can like basically play them out. So you're trying to play cards in a way that doesn't allow other people to play cards. You're trying to get rid of your stuff. Very fun game. I would totally get this. This fits so much into the great little card game category.
I think it's an Amigo game. Yeah, it's like, it's that level of like the Circus Focati, those kinds of
like. There can literally never be enough of those games.
It was great.
Someone did try to say, like, hey man, Brian Brew didn't like, Arcs didn't like. What's the common trick taking?
I argue that the action selection thing in Arcs is not trick taking.
It's basically trick taking.
I would argue it's not trick taking
It's basically trick taking.
But yeah, didn't like either of those. Love Captain Flip though. God, we talked this game a ton.
It's a top 10 game of the year for us. Amazing.
Number 2 game. We did our list on our top 10 games of the year. Captain Flip is incredible, super accessible, always interesting. It's an absolute banger.
Yep. We played Cascadito, which is a roll and write version of Cascadero, which we haven't played. And we only played, there's 4 maps. We played the most basic version. The most basic version was way too basic. Will we play one of the harder versions eventually? I don't know. Maybe. But it was, you're rolling dice, you're making connections on a map. And the basic version was just a little too kind of like, all right, I'll go here. Okay, not really thinking about it. But I've looked through the other maps, and there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, we also played this like at the airport after Gen Con, so we were probably also tired.
Exhausted.
And so we really should try I want to try the other maps because they did seem more interesting. But the basic map was like, it was a game, basically.
Yeah.
Castle Combo, one of the best games of the year. It's so good. Also, there's an artist's diary for this on BGG. Go check it out. It's really, really cool.
Very, very cool. Love Castle Combo a lot.
Castle Combo is so good. Great tableau building game. Just like
trying to build the most synergistic 9-card tableau you can.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I played Cathedral World. So I played this with Jeff of Foster the People.
Allegedly.
They had this like really crazy like resin version of it, where basically like everyone the 2 players have a bunch of these pieces. They're these big cool resin pieces, but they're shaped kind of like polyomino tiles, and you're basically trying to put all your pieces onto the board. It's kind of like a grid board, like a chessboard, and so you put it on there, and you have to make it kind of like match within the grid, and then you're basically constantly putting stuff out, trying to block each other out, and putting stuff so you can put there's a way you can like cut off part of the board, and only you can like put stuff in there and stuff like that. It's really, it's a great, like, you're drinking coffee in the morning, you have it on a little coffee table, and you're kind of drinking coffee, chatting, and playing this game. And I think that's how like Jeff and Jamie play it. It's really fun for that. I don't know where you can get this game. I don't know where they got their version of this game.
I've only ever heard about this because of their copy, and I don't know anything about it.
I think that version must be super expensive. I don't know anything about this game other than that, but it was very, very cool.
Cool. Cathedral World, how good.
Yes, indeed.
I played Tetris Spice Road for the first time in a very long time, and I dig it, man. I think it's maybe one like I dig more on Board Game Arena because it just takes care of a lot of like the moving things around. But you're ultimately trying to build cards and to score your points and stuff, and you're playing out cards, which will give you ways to gain types of spice or convert types of spice. It's got a lot of like a little fun stuff.
I want to try it again. I want to try it again.
It's solid.
I feel like I'd like it more. You haven't played Chaigaram yet?
No,
yeah, Chaigaram is a really cool game. We picked this up at BGG fall of last year.
It's 2023.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I guess now. This is a really cool game where you are you have like a tea shop and you are making these different kinds of teas and kind of upgrading your tea shop so you can make more tea at at time.
Whoa.
And then you are then trying to serve these customers. You can serve customers in the front of the line. You can also serve customers in the back of the line because certain customers want certain kinds of tea. And when you make tea, you make a big batch of like black tea. And so you have like 4 of them, and you usually can't make more tea unless you have like another pot and stuff. I thought it was cool. I really want to show Mikey. The people who made the game were at BGG-Con. They were
super cool.
They just traveled in from India. They were super nice and super cool. And I did enjoy the game. I thought it was cool. I want to stream it because it'd be a good game to kind of just show off. I thought it was awesome.
Dude, down. Yeah. I played Chomp. It's a all-play game where you are, it's kind of in that style of game where you're putting cards down, but you can kind of layer things on top. And you're doing this to create environments of like a bunch of vegetation, and you want to get your herbivore dinosaurs around that. And then also areas with meat sources for your carnivores. And there's this kind of fun thing where if the carnivores don't have a meat source, they will eat the herbivores if they're kind of connected. So you're kind of tracking all these things and then also doing some goals. It's kind of as the point salad thing where if you take a card and flip it, it then has a goal for you and stuff. But yeah, enjoyable game for sure.
Great. I thought Circle of Wagons, I played this with our good friend Jimmy. I'm not going to lie, I don't quite remember this game. I remember playing it.
I think it's similar to like the Agropolis games.
I think it is, yeah. You're like, there's like a circle of wagons, and you're like picking up stuff, and I can't quite remember why or what you're doing, but it's a button-shy game.
Wild West stuff.
It was. I remember enjoying it, but we played this like late at night. It was at your old house. We were in the garage. You must have been taking care of Logan or something, because it was just me and Jimmy there. Played this quick game. I remember enjoying it. I don't quite remember much more about it.
Wow, Jimmy, hear that?
Jimmy, sorry, Jimmy, I love you.
Didn't like it. Played Circus Flocati. We played this with.
Well, yeah, we was talking about this in chat. Circus Flocati's
played this
so
with Charlie originally, and then we got our copy. The newest copy.
I just played it this last BGG-Con with Tara and stuff.
Man, it's such a good little kind of push your luck game where there's all these different suits of cards.
10.
And you can flip over a card out into the central row, and then if you want, you can flip over another card because maybe you don't want that card. But if you ever reveal the same color twice, which is likely because there's so many suits, you bust, and that card goes to the discard pile, and you don't get to collect anything. Now, the reason you want to maybe go for another card is because you only count the highest card of each color suit, but then you can ditch stuff to make triplets. It's a great little, little boom and bust game.
It's a classic card game. It's been around for a very long time. It's flea themed. They have always kept that theme.
They have.
Which I appreciate.
The art in this one is very cute. They're like on little balls and juggling and stuff.
Little card game.
Yeah.
Another great little card game. Played Cities by that Praise Be. And then
Steve Finn.
Steve Finn. I almost said. So Steve Finn, yeah. But Praise Be and Steve Finn, this is a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's right in that Phil Walker Harding line of just like super accessible, super easy to get into. You basically are building out a city. The cities are all different, so like New York or Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, you're all doing like different neighborhoods in that city.
Yeah, and those all have like a little bit of a special ability, but you're basically getting these like 3D pieces, building them up. You're getting these scoring cards. Be like for every level 2 yellow building you have, you'll get points. You're also putting out like features, like fountains and all this kind of stuff. It's really fun. I like it a lot. It's that Praise Be and Steve Finn are great designers. Them come together, made a great game, of course.
Yep. Civolution. Ooh, this was too low on our top 10 upon future plays.
Sure was.
This is probably our number 2 favorite game, and right there on the level of SETI, I think.
It is,
right about concurrent with that.
It's 1A, 2A, I think. 1A. No.
Big old Civ builder from Stefan Feld, and you are basically deities making your own little ant farm of the world and stuff. And it's got a really cool action selection system, a lot of things to do. We like this one a lot.
Yeah, we played this game a bunch since
I want to play it again. We got to show Jim.
Yeah, we played this game like 5 or 6 times now. It's very good. Very good. The Coffee Rush, we played this at BGG-Con with Jamie, and I didn't like it that much.
I know, because it has this thing where basically the idea is like the Coffee Rush is coming, and you're trying to keep up with the orders, and it's going to be difficult to do that. And as other people kind of do stuff, they can kind of pile their customers onto you. So it gets to be stressful.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I believe there's an expansion for this. And I'd be curious to see what that adds, to see if it takes away some of the stress. It might just add on to it.
Yeah.
But the pieces and stuff, because you're putting like actual little ingredients into these little cups. Man, it was just very tactile and fun, and I enjoyed it despite it being the kind of stressful, like feel like you can't win kind of game.
It was cool. I guess the thematic concept of like, your shop is busy. Now my shop is busy. It just doesn't really make any sense to me.
Well, because everyone's saying like, screw this, I'm not going here, I'm going over here.
I guess, I don't know.
It doesn't really.
I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. Mike liked it more, and I think Jamie liked it a lot. I think me and Jeff didn't really like it that much, but you two liked it.
I thought it was cool. I want to see what the expansion is.
Yeah. We both played Colorado for the first time this year.
We did.
God,
Charlie showed it to us at the end of a BGG.
Well, I played it with Jeff and Jamie in Nova Scotia.
Oh, yeah. Then
we played it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is a great game. It's a set collection
epitome
game.
of spite drafting.
Yeah, it's all
sort of,
spite
like,
drafting.
In terms of, you're putting cards into these lots so that people can then take, and you're like, only can take certain colors.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, Nick can't take orange. You're like, well, put an orange there with the card you actually want.
Yeah.
So we go ahead.
Because if you do start taking stuff, you only get to score, is it 3?
I think that's first, the 3 best
Biggest
colors,
ones, yeah.
and then everything else is
like negative points. So you don't want to take extra, like chuffa, extra stuff because, yeah, but it's really, really good. This game is outstanding. We still don't have it. We need to pick up a copy of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Colorado's been around for a million years for a reason. It's outstanding.
Fantastic game.
I got to play Colt Express for the first time.
Yeah,
I played this with Jeff and Jamie. They're going to come up a lot, obviously. And I really, really enjoyed it. This is just a Wild West game. It's got this big 3D train, and you're moving around the train and like shooting each other.
Going to the roof and down into the cars.
Yeah, and you're basically like putting cards in, and then the cards get flipped over, so you kind of don't know when you're going to go. It's really, really fun. It's silly. It's crazy. I really enjoyed it.
Seems like the epitome of like programming game where your stuff's going to happen by the time you get to your card, so now your program doesn't make sense anymore, like a rubber rally.
It's very, very good. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Great production value, man.
Yes.
I played Copenhagen. I played this with Linnea there in chat a number of times on Board Game Arena. It's a really simple game where you're kind of like, take it to Ride-ish, where you're drafting cards and then turning in sets of a certain color to grab tiles to kind of put into your building. And the cards that you're drafting, you have to take 2 cards that are adjacent to each other. And yeah, I really like it a lot. It's a nice light game, and it's just kind of pretty and stuff, and there's some bonuses to get. Yeah, really, really solid, kind of like light, filler game.
Totally.
Yeah.
I played Cosmo Octopus.
You played it a while ago.
You played it,
and then I finally played it and stuff. And man, this game is so close to being so good.
I really wanted to like it when I played it. I did not love it.
Yeah, your initial consensus about this game was that it just goes on too long.
Yeah.
And I agree. There's so many turns where you're sort of like moving over here, getting some stuff, moving over here, getting some stuff. And then you're playing these cards out, and there's all these categories of cards that are cool. Like some of them give you like permanent discounts on stuff. Other ones are like big one-time actions. There's these constellations, which are mostly how you're going to put out your tentacles, which you're trying to do to win. And it just takes like 3 or 4 turns to do that one constellation card. I'm like, man, I wish there was things that would allow for the game to ramp up a little more. Yeah. And there's just not enough. I also tried it with Linnea there in the co-op mode, and it didn't really solve it either, because it's just like goes on a little too long, but I don't hate what you're doing in the game.
What a premise, though, right?
Yeah.
What a premise.
And Logan loves playing with a little octopus.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, of course. I played Creature Caravan with our good friend Charlie. This is at BGG Con. I really want you to try this game because I think you'd like it a lot. Yeah. This is a great simultaneous dice placement game where you're rolling out these dice, and you have different like dice placement spots on your board, but then you're also getting these caravan cards, which will have more dice placement spots, and you're basically trying to move your caravan as far along the track as you can, but there's different kinds of terrain, like woods and mountains and desert and things like that. So when you put a dice place, it might be like, if you put one here, you can move your caravan onto a desert or a forest. And so there's a lot of those kinds of things where you're kind of trying to place your stuff and move around. The farther you go, the better. The cards do a bunch of stuff. I really, really enjoyed it, and I really want to try it again. I think you would really like it a lot.
Play it, please.
I think you'd really like it. You played Cuba Libre for the first time.
Cuba Libre.
I've played it.
Cuba Libre. Hey, it's so good, man.
I know.
This is what made me into a war game adjacent person. I won't say I'm a war gamer.
No, you're not, but you're adjacent.
But I'm adjacent. I started collecting them, which is probably a sign.
Well, you must be collecting the coin ones too, and the coin ones have spoken to you much more than like a.
Yes. Yeah. So this is, I played this at BGG Spring with Charlie, Jeff, and Keith. Yeah, we played it twice. Yeah, I was with Jamie the second time.
Gosh.
I forgot I did that twice.
Yeah, you sure did. I went and did something else.
And this is dealing with kind of Fidel Castro's rise and taking over. And you have 4 players. If you're playing 4 players, you're 4 factions. You have, Fidel and co. You have the Cuban government. You have the Directorio, which are kind of like the students, the young folk, and then you have the syndicate, which are just opening up and running casinos, basically mob bosses who are trying to profit over this chaotic time. It's so good, man. God, I hope this comes to BGA. This will be so fun to play.
More of those games are coming to BGA, so I think it will.
I really, really like Cuba Libre a lot. It's just every moment I feel super engaged in like what's happening, what's going on, what's my my move here. Oh, it's so fun, man. And plus, I'm undefeated, which helps.
You and Mike has never lost this game, which is great.
Yee! That's a war game eyes right here.
What is this?
That is Cucumber. It's a trick-taking game. Oh. I think it's maybe
like,
the predecessor to like Funkerken or like what that's based on. It's basically you want to not take cards, and I played on BGA a couple times, and I'm just like, I don't know how to. I played a game with like 5 or 6 people, and everyone had 30 because you like lose points, and it's like 30 is your start, and then you go down to 0. Everyone had 30 points, and I had 1. I was just like. And everyone's like, man, we're all playing so well. And I'm like, I am also here. And they're like, I don't think Mike knows what's going on. I'm like, I sure don't. I don't understand. I thought I was doing the right stuff. But I think I gave you, on the last card you play as a high card, that's bad for you. So it's kind of 5 cucumbers eaten that way.
Okay, sure. You played Dice Forge. Dice Forge, yeah.
We never got to play the physical copy. Well, if you know us from way back when, we got a copy of this. I was missing a bunch of pieces. Never got through to customer service.
Multiple times, and they said, oh yeah, we'll send them. They never did.
That's but they bungled that one. But I have played on Board Game Arena, and it's fun. It's fun to add things to your dice. It's a fairly light game, and you're kind of getting these high-level cards and stuff. So it's fun.
Yeah,
good, not great.
Play Dice Town. This is Jeff and Jamie. This is like one of their evangelism games. It's a great game where you're kind of making poker hands with dice. You have dice in a cup, and you're kind of shaking them, and then you're like, oh, I have 3 aces. Okay, I'm gonna try to make 4 of a kind or 5 of a kind. And you keep shaking them. Basically, whoever makes like the best poker hands will kind of get the best benefits. But whoever does the best this, the best that,
there's kind of all these different areas of town. We have to replay it to get the details, but it's fun.
Yeah, all these different awards and stuff. It was really fun. It's kind of silly fun, but it's a good time, and I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I love the idea of rolling dice to make poker hands. And Linnea, you should try Cuba Libre. If it comes on to BJ, we should play Cuba Libre. Pretty great game.
What's Dicey Cards, Mike?
Play Dicey Cards. It's kind of like Fuse-ish, but not with like the real-time element, where you're basically going to have these cards that are going to require, a sequence of dice or 3 of the same number and stuff. And you're trying to complete these cards to score points and stuff. So it's kind of Fuse without the fuse.
Okay, cool. Down. Liked it?
Downogenics?
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. No, it's not good. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. I've played this game several times on BGA, and it always comes down to me just like hunting for cards, and I'm always like, how do I get the cards I need to make this T-Rex? Because I need 3 T-Rex cards to play a T-Rex. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm always just hunting cards and never having the cards I need. So I was like, this is neat.
There you go.
Didn't like it, yeah. But I've done my due diligence on that one. I played a lot.
Yeah, we played Villains, the card game. We played this. This was a kind of a shocker in terms of, like, it just looks kind of like a generic, like Ravensburger just chucked some Disney stuff out there. And it was really, really fun where you're like a villain and you're putting cards into each other.
You're trying to get rid of your cards?
Yeah, you're putting cards, like, I think into each other, like discard piles of that. At this point, it was like almost a year since we played it. But I remember really enjoying it. All of us were like, wow, that was way better than we thought it was going to be. And so, yeah, it was good. It seemed kind of like
over Villainous every time.
Yeah, you better believe it. And so, really enjoyed it.
Good little game.
Played it still for the first time this year?
Yeah.
What? Really?
I had the same thought. I was like, really? But I guess so.
Okay. Well, it's great.
I think it was early last year.
Yeah, it must have been.
But, because I think we got it, no, I
got it last year at Gen Con. We definitely played it last year at some point.
Well, I don't know why it wasn't loved.
No, whatever. It's so great though.
That's the point.
Love this game.
Such a good game.
But nonetheless, it's outstanding. We love it.
So much hooch.
We got to replay Dominant Species. So we have played Dominant Species before. I had never played it. This was the first hobby board game I ever played.
Which is a doozy to begin with. Bad
place to start, y'all. But we had friends, our cousin and her then fiance was just like, oh, we like this game, Dominant Species, let's play it. And I was like, okay, whatever. We had played like Pandemic and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was way, way, way too much, so I really, really disliked it because I just didn't know what the hell was going on. So we played this at BGG Spring, and it was good. I still don't think how much I love it. It's a little too in your face for me, but I did enjoy it a lot more. And yeah, it's a great game, but yeah.
Yeah, the kind of sequence and stuff where it takes you through the round in terms of like what activates when is just so well laid out and everything. Really enjoyed that for sure.
Yeah.
I played a bunch of games of Dorfromantic Sakura, which is the new Dorfromantic. Really like it a lot. If you like Dorfromantic, the board game or the video game, this one has, different kind of theming around it and stuff, but it's very much the same kind of things. You're trying to complete these tasks. You're going to be unlocking new materials and stuff. And I played like 8 or 9 just games solo because it's just so fun and easy to kind of play. We love these games a lot.
Yeah.
So happy to have as many versions as they make.
Yep.
I played Dragonwood, this game of of dice and daring, as it says right there. This is a game where you are going to be like rolling dice and trying to overcome these cards, and you can sometimes. When you roll your dice, you can choose like what kind of attack you're doing. If it's like a sword attack or a shield thing, and certain baddies are susceptible to certain types of attacks, and you're playing cards to kind of boost up your stuff.
Yeah.
Fun light game. I actually really enjoyed it. I'd be happy to play this again on BGA.
Cool.
Board Game Arena, if you don't know. That's Drove Polter.
This is a drop one. Yeah.
This is one where you're trying to.
This is hardly a game, but it's fun.
It's mostly an activity, but it's a game where there's all these pieces of stuff, and you are flipping over a card that's going to show certain elements. It might be like the ghost and the other piece, and you have to grab those pieces before anyone else can. Yeah. And if you succeed in this, you're going to get these little bells. And the problem is you then have to hold the bells in your hand, and then as you grab pieces, you need to grab those pieces without dropping your bells, because those are like your victory points. And it's just a goofy dexterity thing like that, but it's actually
this wasn't
really
the one where
fun.
you had to drop stuff out of your hand?
Oh no, that's what it is. Yes,
okay, that's what I was like. I thought you had to drop
You have those
stuff.
elements, and you have to whatever's on the card, get rid of them out of your hand without dropping. You have to feel like, oh, that's this thing. My bad.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
My bad.
I was like, I thought this was a dropping one.
But the point stands that you need to feel around in your hand without looking. Like I think that's that piece, and drop it without losing your bells.
Yeah,
which is hard.
It's very silly, but it's fun.
I played Duck and Cover.
That's right.
It's a little kind of like slide card game. I played it with Charlie, and you are, I can't remember if you have to cover up lower numbers, so you're kind of going from high to low or low to high with the cards, but you're basically making this like slide puzzle to cover stuff up. It's actually kind of cute and clever, and it's got a bunch of rubber duckies, which is fun.
That is nice.
Or I mean on the cover, they're just covers.
Not real life.
I played Island Something Shiny. Here's how I played through half of it. Was 50-50 on it. And then Paula in our This Game Is Broken kind of bonus show talked about this, and she made it all the way through and talked about how awful the ending was and told us what happens in the end, and now I am so thankful I didn't finish it.
Yeah, right.
So I would have been so angry.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't play it. Don't do it. Don't take yourself through it.
Yeah.
Because it just seems to be a weird, like, punishing you for
not being the perfect person ever.
For playing the game in ways that the game makes it seem like it wants you to play, and then it punishes you for that. I'm like, what is the message here? So, weird one.
Get good is the message. I played Elder Scrolls Betrayal: The Second Era. I really like this game. I'm in the middle of another campaign with our friend Tell David and his wife Sam, because David also is a very big Elder Scrolls fan, and Sam likes Elder Scrolls too. So I was like, hey, I think you'll like this game, and I really wanted to play it again. We did a massive stream. It's like a 7.5 hour stream. Go watch that if you want to see us play it. It is epic, man. Really fun. I think it's gonna be my favorite chip theory game, if not already. I really like it. I played it through a couple times. It's kind of Elder Scrolls. You're building characters. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's very cool. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
quite a bit. Played Eminent Domain.
I did. This is kind of like a. Kind of like Race for the Galaxy kind of game where you're going to be settling planets and stuff, but it's kind of deck building based. So you're going to be playing cards for their action, and then you can kind of choose one of the main kind of actions as well, and then play cards like that to get like action points for that, to settle planets, to develop technologies and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. It took me a couple plays to get like my brain around it, but then I
know people really like this game.
It's cool. It's like again, feels kind of familiar in the action follow mechanism.
Yeah. It's great.
It's a good game.
It's really good. It's really good. We did stream it this one, so you can go watch that to see us play it, but it's very good. I like this game a lot. Yeah, this game is outstanding.
Yeah, I like that you can play competitive or cooperative. The game has such a good ramp up where you're getting kind of stronger and stronger specialists. You're getting more and more kind of your income and trying to explore the ocean and kind of achieve the goals. And we have not succeeded. But we've gotten close.
It's a tough game, but we've gotten very close every time. So I'm like, okay.
There's all these different like scenarios, missions, and stuff.
It's outstanding. Great game. Really outstanding. But Evergreen.
I did. This is one that I wanted to play for a long time. Yes. It is kind of photosynthesis-ish, where you're going to be putting out trees.
It's Yamaha, isn't it?
Yeah. So the same designer, one of the designers, or the same, I think, design team. You're playing cards and stuff and putting like seedlings and different stuff into your little planet, and then growing your trees, and then gaining points and stuff based on like the light that's catching them and stuff. But everyone has their own individual thing versus all playing in the same forest in photosynthesis, so it kind of has a little less in-your-faceness, but I really liked it. It's got a nice production too with like dual layer boards and stuff. Very good game.
All right, we're cruising, y'all.
Played Expeditions, kind of sequel to Scythe. I probably like it more than Scythe, just in terms of like, Scythe is, it's, anyway. This was good, but kind of like Cosmo Octopus just went on too long. I was just like, it's cool, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but like,
too big.
It's going this way, and it is very large physically, and I'm like, I wish you just pared it down a little bit, because it seemed like it was going to be a pared down Scythe, and I'm like, well, it is in some ways, but not physically.
Sure ain't.
But yeah, it was good, but long, too long.
Cool. Played Expressions.
I did. This is sort of
almost played this game a bunch of times, but it has not happened.
This is sort of a deduction game where you're playing out cards to say like, this is my highest of this color, this is my lowest of my color, this is my last of this color, and based on that, you're trying to then guess, like, I think you have the green 4 and stuff like that. Really fun game. I actually really like this game a lot. It was sent to us by the designer because they know that Nick in particular does not like Hanabi.
Yeah.
And it's Hanabi-ish in that you're trying to guess, in this case, what's in other people's hands.
Yeah.
But I think it does a little bit better than like
what I hear.
Hanabi will.
I'm really excited to play it.
Good game.
My favorite things. This is that weird trick-taking game.
My favorite things, yes. This is a trick-taking kind of party game where you're going to be given a category by the player to your left or right, and then you are going to make, from 1 to 5, a list of your favorite things in that category. So it might be like sports teams or whatever the person comes up with, and you'll make your order, and then you're going to pass your hand of cards shuffled up to that player, and then they're going to play out the cards based on what they think your ranking is of these things. So it's honestly a great,
this is a great like
concept for
get to know each other game.
Perfect get to know each other game. Because again, you're choosing my category, but you don't know what because when I get my cards, I don't see the ranking. So I'm just guessing, like, I think this guy's a Giants fan, so I think it's going to be your number 1, which would be correct. San Francisco Giants, not New York, obviously. I don't want to hate myself. And you're doing trick-taking with that. But it's really a great icebreaker type of game. Party game. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Faraway. Someone earlier asked about our thoughts about Faraway, but here you go. It's great.
That's so good.
There's a designer director for Faraway right now on BGG.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah, this is a great game where you're playing out these cards, but you're not going to score them right away. And then basically, once you play out your cards and go down this path, you're then going to go back down your path and score your cards that way. So it's this weird, like, backwards planning game where the first card you put out is going to be the last card you score. So it's like this interesting game, but it's just one of those kind of like Captain Flip or Castle Combo. It's a small game. It's a quick game. You can just play it over and over and over again. It's super interesting and great.
Yeah, and you're just trying to get the cards with the right icons to score as many points as possible. I think this game is really cool. The first time you play it, you're like, what? Because of the scoring going backward, you're like, oh, these icons don't exist yet because they're back here. It's kind of like Let's Go to Japan, but Let's Go to Japan does go forward in time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a bit.
But yeah, anyway, Faraway is fantastic.
Freaking love. Fast Sloss. Finally got to play with Fast Sloss. God, I love this game. Fast Sloss is very, very fun. It's just, I don't know, it's just a pick up and deliver game where you are sloths and you have these various animals around the board and they are picking up and delivering you as a sloth because you don't want to move much.
Lazybones Jones.
So you can get like an eagle to come pick you up and fly you across the board, and basically you have these cards with all these different animals. You will play them and that can move the animals around. They all move the sloth in different ways. Sometimes they throw you, sometimes they carry you, it kind of depends. And you're basically trying to collect leaves to eat. It's great. It's a great theme, but the game itself is also really fun and really unique and stuff. It's just outstanding. Yeah, I want it so bad. It's impossible to get.
Yeah, super good game. Agreed.
Yes, indeed.
I played Fearsome Floors.
There's going to be a lot of Freedom Freeze games in here because they all start with F.
Strap in.
There's a whole bunch.
Fearsome Floors is like there's these monsters running around and you're basically trying to escape with your people. I think it was okay. I loved like the theming of it and the look and everything was really fun and silly. But I think we had kind of a weird edge case game where the way the monsters were moving, just they were kind of stuck in a corner and not really getting out of there. So we all kind of like got around and were like, all right, bye.
This is just easy now.
So I don't think most games would play out that way. But yeah, it was enjoyable, and the theming is just sort of like, you're the teenagers aren't supposed to be doing the naughty, and now you're gonna get killed, you know?
Yeah, it's very pulpy.
Very pulpy.
We played the Lord of the Rings trick-taking game.
Yes, sir.
Fellowship of the Ring. It's really, really good. We're gonna do at some point, probably me, Mike, and Jimmy, we'll do a stream. We're probably going to stream through the whole thing. Not really spoilers because it's just Lord of the Rings. I guess spoilers on how each game plays.
If at this point you haven't seen Lord of the Rings or read them or whatever, that's
your fault.
You,
yeah,
man.
But you're playing through each chapter. Each chapter, you can only play with the characters that are like actually in that chapter.
Yeah, which is
so
cool.
you can't play with like Aragorn in the very first chapter because he's not around yet, right? And so it's really, really interesting. It's a co-op trick-taking game. Each character kind of works differently. You're trying to do different stuff depending on the chapter. It's really, really cool. I really, really like it. And I'm curious to see where it's going to end up on our end of the year because it's technically a 2025 game. Yeah. Even though they were selling it like packs and stuff like that.
Play through it, man.
It's going to be very, very good. And I'm pretty sure they're doing the rest of them too. So
hope
very
so,
excited.
Man. Really hope so.
What's Festive Vibes?
Festive Vibes is, I don't know, man. I played it with Jeff and Jamie on BGA, and you're like playing stuff and messing with each other. Like you're making, a tableau of cards and stuff, and I think you're making like columns and things. I'm trying to put like bad stuff on yours and good stuff on mine. Is that kind of like take that-y thing? It was okay. I don't know.
It's all right.
I was just like, well, okay, that was a thing.
We played Fishin'. This is a Friedman Freeze trick-taking game from this year, and it was one of our best games of the year. This is a super interesting trick-taking game where at the very beginning it's kind of normal trick-taking. The amount of cards you take, that's how many points you're going to get, but if you don't take that many tricks, you will get to go fishing and get extra cards because the cards that you take, that's going to be your hand for the next round.
Right.
But if you don't have enough cards to make a whole hand, you need to go fishing into this pile, and that's where all like the really good cards are. And so you kind of get stronger, and the really good cards kind of come out periodically throughout the game. It's outstanding if you like trick-taking games.
A self-regulating trick-taking game.
Yeah.
The better you do, kind of the harder it'll be. The worse you do, kind of the easier it'll be, and see who comes out on top.
It's
fantastic game.
I got to play Flick of Faith.
Sure did.
This is a really weird, silly game where you are kind of like
dexterity stuff.
Yeah,
right?
dexterity. Where you're like deities. You have like special powers, and you're flicking your discs onto this board, basically trying to do like area control, trying to find the things. Multiple times throughout the game, there's gonna be like new rules that come out that like change stuff. There's like ramps and stuff. It's very, very silly, very, very fun. I did enjoy it a lot. It's a great like convention party game kind of thing.
I want to try it.
Yeah. Gotta play Flip 7. This is one of our favorite card games of the year.
Perfect party game. Perfect, big group convention party game where you are trying not to bust. And as you each get a starting card, and then you can choose to either hit or stay. If you stay, you bank whatever points you got based on the values of your cards. If you decide to hit, you take another card. If you ever get the same number twice, you bust and get nothing. And there's numbers 0 through 12, and there are an equal amount of copies of those cards. So there's 12 12s. Obviously, 12 is more than one. Right. But it's more likely you're going to bust if you have it in front of you. So you're kind of trying to play that game of like, do I think enough 12s would come out that this is safe or not? Super fun game.
Yeah, really good. Really
great, good. Silly game.
Played Flow.
Oh man, talk about bloated.
Yeah, this game is.
I hope the final product is pared down.
Yeah,
I don't think it will be, but I hope it will be.
Yeah, we did not love Flow.
I was bummed, man.
Did not love Flow. It was. Our playthrough is so long. Mike did another playthrough with like Paula and stuff that was also super long.
It's longer. Yeah, it's such a long game.
It goes on so much longer than it should. It's an interesting, cool game where you're like these kind of, it's this beautiful Andrew Bosley art where you're like these kind of cool like people, and you're going out onto like the ice flows and the ice sheets, and you're like exploring dungeons, and like you're doing all this crazy stuff, getting all this stuff, but then eventually you run out of like fire, which is like your warmth, and then you have to go back to town and kind of resupply and go back out. So you're going that back and forth. Really cool concept, but it is just way too big, way too long. There's way too much going on.
And then the ramp up happens really fast at the end where it goes like, bloop, game over. And I'm like,
it
just needs to be balanced out to have more of a nice linear
I have
progression.
hope for this game, but man, oh man, did they need to take some stuff out.
It felt very much like too many cooks in the kitchen where it's just like, oh, maybe this, oh, and maybe that. And I'm like,
because I know that this game, I think it was supposed to come out earlier, and it kept getting delayed, and my guess is they kept trying to like mess with it. I don't know what happened, but nonetheless, I wish I liked it more because we were super excited to play it and did not love it.
Such a long game.
Yeah, you gotta play Floristry.
I did. Floristry is a
cool one.
Dutch auction game.
Ducks auction.
Where you are basically bidding for these tiles. There'll be 4 tiles on offer. The winner of the bid gets 3 of them, I believe, and then the other person gets the leftover tile. And you are using, your phone, a little timer. It also works on Board Game Arena very well. And you are starting a timer. It's going to give 5 seconds, and every second or so, or however long the timer is, the price of this lot of tiles will go down down.
Yeah.
And so you're sort of playing chicken with the other player, saying like, I want the price to go down, but if I don't click it first, I don't get to choose anything. So you're kind of playing with that, and you only have so much money, and then you're building groups of connected of the same flower types, as big a group as you can, in your little window of your shop, as you can see right there. Really interesting, really fun. The Dutch auction is always interesting because you're just staring down like, I'm going to get this to 2, and then I'm going to immediately click it. But the person there is thinking the same thing. So are you fast enough to do it? Great game.
Very cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I played Flowers.
Flowers, this is a game where you see those numbers there and colors, and you need to make groups of, like, a 3 needs to have 3 tiles to score, 2 needs 2 tiles. You're trying to make these color groups and stuff, so you're kind of combating with the numbers and then mixing colors and stuff as well. It's a tricky little tile layer. I like it.
Cool.
I had never played Forbidden Island.
I don't think I have either.
We played Forbidden Desert was like an early game for us, and I never played the original. I finally played it, and it's good.
Yeah.
I get it. And these tiles sink instead of like the sand going on; they go away, which I feel like is harder than Forbidden Desert to a degree. But I liked it.
Yeah, I never played it either. Weirdly enough,
very good.
Yeah.
Great co-op.
Somehow I never played it. Played Forest Shuffle Alpine.
Play the Alpine, and it's great. Forest Shuffle, more cards, more good.
You just got the next expansion too,
yeah. Woodland something.
Woodland Butts.
There it is. Woodland Edge. Yeah, I played that on BGA once too. Again, more cards, more good. So.
Yeah, easy. Played Forever Home this year. This is by the same people who make like Dog Park and stuff like that. I really like this game.
Good.
This game is a really great like end of the night, super relaxing game where you are again like this. Kind of you're getting these tokens, right? And you're basically trying to
tokens or cards, depending on what you take on.
And then you're like kind of like turning them to try to get dogs to go to their forever home. There's like some set collection stuff, some scoring stuff. It was really great, but this is a great, like super simple, super relaxing. Just play over a cup of coffee at night, or maybe not a cup. We drink coffee at night, but just nice hot drink, chatting while you're playing. It's a great game for that.
Absolutely agree. Such a pleasant game.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. For Northwood, I have this at my house, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
It's a solo trick-taking game.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome. It's you are going around to these different lords, these different animals. You're trying to have a conversation, an engaging conversation, which will pertain to the suits and stuff, but it's just a trick-taking game. And it's solo, so you are going to be flipping over random cards, and then, depending on who you're talking to, you need to win a specific amount of tricks, including all the way down to 0 or all the way up to 7 or 8 or whatever it is. And based on the cards that are being presented to you, you're always playing the second card. You're either trying to go under or above to win or lose tricks specifically. And then as you get these lords and stuff, you get little powers and stuff. But great little solo game. It just works beautifully well. And they random card, try to do a thing. Yeah. It honestly works great.
Yeah, really excited to play it. I have it at my place. I need to get a chance to solo.
Challenging too.
We played Fromage. Fromage is a cheese game. The big old cheese wheel. Yeah. Where you are putting out different kinds of cheese into the areas next to you. The whole board will then turn, and then now you're dealing with that quadrant. Yep. There's like a festival, there's like a cheese shop, there's all this different stuff. They all score and kind of work in a different way. You're basically trying to get the best score you can. I thought it was very good. It's very interesting and cool.
Yeah, it's cool. The way it works with like workers being on the board for a while and coming back to you is pretty unique.
It's outstanding. Really unique game. And cheese is great.
Cheese is great, so that helps.
Cheese is great. I played For the Win. This is another Freedom Freeze game. I'm not going to lie, I don't remember how it plays, but I remember really enjoying it.
Okay, there you go.
I played this in Nova Scotia. It was like the last thing we went to the Board Game Cafe, which is the game cafe in Halifax.
Right.
It was the last thing we played. We're like, let's play this real quick before I leave. I remember enjoying it, but I don't honestly remember what you're doing. And I do remember the For the Win makes no sense. It's a title that makes absolutely no sense to what you're doing in the game. It's just a card game.
For the win in the game.
Yeah.
So.
But I did enjoy it, but honest to God, I was trying to I meant to look it up before we did this thing, because I was like, I don't remember what you do in that game. But I remember really enjoying it, because it's a free freeze card game. It's going to be great.
Years are long, they go by.
I mean, that was almost an entire year ago at this point, and I have not played it since,
Played Full Throttle, another Freeman Freeze game. This is kind of Camel Up-ish, where you are but you have more control. You're playing on these cards to move these Vespas around, and then I think whatever card is left over that you have is going to be like you making a bid on which moped you think is going to win the race. And yeah, it's a really fun, light and quick kind of betting on this racing game. I was doing so good, and at the last turn, like the red moped did not move at all, and and didn't even place. And I was like, all my cards are on this moped that is now nothing.
Yeah, it's really the best way to put it. It's like it's Camel Up where you can control things a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which could be good or bad. I like the chaos of Camel Up.
Yeah, for sure.
But this one, if you want a game you control a little bit more, but you kind of want a similar thing, this is a really good one. Although I don't know how available this game is, but it's very fun.
I don't know either, but it is a great game.
We played Fünfgurken.
This is
five cucumbers, which the German name is Fünfgurken. The first time we played it, we played that version. This is another trick-taking game by Friedman Freeze, where there's only one suit, and that suit is Pickles. And you're basically playing out highest card wins, but only the last trick matters. And basically, you don't want to win the last trick.
You don't want to win the last trick.
Whoever wins the last trick is essentially going to get Pickles. Once you get five cucumbers, you're out of the game. But it's got an interesting thing. When you play a trick, you either have to match
you have to play a higher card. I think match or play a higher card, or you have to play your lowest card.
Yes, exactly. So you have to either match or play a higher card. I think it might just be playing a higher card, or you have to play your lower card. That's important because, again, you don't want to win the last trick. So if you can't beat the hand, you have to chuck your lowest card. So you're getting rid of your lowest card. So that means by the end of the last trick, your lowest card might be like a 9 instead of like a 2 or something that you would want to do. It's really, really interesting. I really like it a lot. I think it's great.
Yeah, great game. Like I say, we ain't messing around here. We're
doing pretty quick. We're an hour in.
We're in the Fs.
We're in the Fs. That's pretty good.
Fun Facts is a fantastic.
It was good.
Icebreaker style game, or if you know your friends really well, game.
Thought I was gonna dislike this one.
This is a game where you're gonna get like a category, and you're gonna be writing a numerical value.
Yeah. So like one of them was like, how many apps do you have on your phone?
Yes, and so people all write what they think they have, and then you are going to try. You're all gonna put them face down, so you only know what you wrote. And you are going to then try to put them in the correct order.
Yeah, load
You're like, man, Nick's always on his phone. He got 1,000 apps and stuff. That would be him saying about me. And so you try to put them in the right order, then you reveal them and stuff. It's so fun. It's really fun. Again, if you don't know people, to get to know them, or if you know your friends and try to like, I got you now. You're down here, dude. It was honestly fantastic.
Yeah.
So much more fun than it seemed like it had any right to be.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. It was good. I liked it a lot. I played Gaia Project for the first time.
How did you enjoy your time?
I did enjoy my time. Is the expansion for you too?
I think you can let it play.
Because Mike played this for the first time. We played the Gaia Project expansion, which was also my first time playing Gaia Project. Gaia Project is great. It's in that same Terra Mystica Age of Innovation we talked about earlier.
So good.
You are terraforming planets so that your people can live on them. I think it's my favorite of the 2. We haven't played Terra Mystica, but I think I'll still like it more than Terra Mystica. I also really, really liked the expansion. It kind of opened up a little bit of things on the game, kind of gave you some more options, gave you more alien races to play, which is always good. Gaia Project is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I genuinely think
Gaia Project is so good.
It's a masterpiece game, and I think the expansion is really fantastic.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Probably just always play with the expansion moving forward.
Yeah.
Just because it gives you, like the QICs, like quantum intelligence cubes, are sort of like, it just creates more options for action types and stuff, which I dig, and kind of more reason to kind of explore around the board. So yeah, such a good game.
Unreal good. We got to play Galactic Cruise. Galactic Cruise. This is kind of a, it looks and kind of plays like a Vita Lacerda game.
Yep.
And
Inspired by.
Yeah, the people who made it are inspired by Vita Lacerda very openly. This is a really good game. We did a playthrough of it earlier this year. This is a game where you're putting on Galactic Cruise, kind of like Floss in Paradise and Fifth Element.
Dope cruise. Yeah, man,
it's
a good game.
Such a fun theme. It's so cool, but there's like, it's this very kind of game where you have to get the various parts of your cruise. You have to get the different cabins. You have to
get
advertise
resources,
for it.
right?
You have to get
advertise,
people onto it, and then you have to actually launch your cruise, and then people will go on your cruise kind of in the background while you're doing other stuff. And then basically, however well you cater to those people, you get more points. This game was so fun.
Dude,
I really liked it.
It's a big old game, but like, it does some stuff where it's like not that hard to acquire resources.
No.
Like, it's not laborsome like in that way, but there's so many things to do and explore. It's just, it's a great game.
It's
man.
really fun.
Can't wait for the final product to come out. I think it's actually really close to releasing.
Hopefully.
So I can't wait to play the finished
It was
product.
pretty well done by the time we played it. Yeah,
it's very well along. Tool art. I mean, the cover, one of the cooler covers we've ever had.
It's one of the
Board
best
game.
covers in the game. Yeah.
It's so good, man.
It's very good. It's very good.
So
very
good.
cool theme. It's outstanding. You got to play the game face to face.
This is a 2-player competitive version of the game where you are trying to get rid of your deck of cards first. It does the same thing as the game where you're going to have 2 stacks. One is going ascending, now 1 to 50 instead of 1 to 100. The other one is descending. And you're playing stuff onto your things, but you can also like play one onto your opponent, which might help them out. And as a result, you get to like play more cards and stuff. So it's this great idea of like, oh, here I'm helping you out, but I'm really helping myself.
Yeah, right.
And you're trying to get through your cards first. It was really actually very, very solid.
Cool.
Yeah.
We played The Gang.
Not sold on it.
Huh?
Not sold on it.
Not sold on it. I want to play more of it because this might be one of those situations where you need to get into later missions. This is this kind of cooperative poker game, but not really, because
That's what
yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
like.
Basically,
It's misadvertised.
everyone is playing Texas Hold'em, and then you basically, as a group, without knowing what each other has, you have to kind of decide who has the best hand, who has the worst hand, second best, all that kind of stuff. But you kind of have nothing to go off of other than people's confidence that their hand is the best or the worst or whatever. And that's kind of it. Now, this is kind of like the Crew, where there's a whole bunch of different missions you can play. I want to get into those missions.
I think that'll make it better.
The base game, I think, is cool to play like once, and then like I don't see any appeal otherwise, really.
Well, again, I think this game is just fundamentally misadvertised. Right? It's cooperative Texas Hold'em. Like, no, it is not.
It's not. Yeah.
You are just have your hand of cards, and you're flipping out the flop and the turn and the river, and trying to guess who has the high hands. And if you think you have a high hand, you say, hey, I think I should be number 1, but you're not doing anything. So I'm like, I don't get, but
it's weird.
with the missions, maybe it starts to add on some stuff. So we, TBD, but I was just like, I don't get it. Yeah. And I don't think it's fun because I don't think you're doing anything. You're just sort of holding cards and being like, I guess I'm third?
Yeah, kind of.
So not sold on it.
But Gateway Island, this is by Van Ryder Games. We did a playthrough of this one. This is a really cool concept.
Oh, yeah.
Where there are like 30 different games in this game, and they're all meant to teach you board game mechanics. So there's one that teaches you like worker placement. There's one that teaches you trick taking, probably. I don't know. We played like 3 of them.
A racing game.
There's all these different things, and it's really cool. They're very light. They're very easy, but they kind of teach you. And then the cool thing is at the end of each rules section, they give you suggestions of other games that utilize these mechanics. And Van Ryder did something very cool here, where they didn't just suggest Van Ryder games.
Sure, yeah.
They suggested other stuff. So in the racing one, they're like, hey, check out Downforce. It's a really great racing game. I think this is such a cool thing. If you want to get people into board games, this is a great thing to get them and give them to them. Maybe walk them through and be like, and kind of see like, hey, what mechanics did you seem to enjoy the most? And then maybe try the next level up of that mechanic. I thought it was a really cool idea. All the games were cute and fun and stuff. It was cool.
I totally agree. Andronicus, yeah, you can call yourself Smurfs,
You can, right? That's not copyrighted.
Boom. Definitely not.
We played Gems of Iridecia.
We did. This is sort of a
kind of like you're climbing.
You're making your way across the
literally
board,
climbing,
and you're gathering gems and stuff, and playing out cards and mining and things like that. You can kind of block each other a little bit and get in each other's way, which neither of us were like, I don't need the take thatty element of it. But it was a solid game, and the production was like super nice, and they had these like foil tiles and stuff. So I'd like to play it again. But it lands in that like solid, not all time or anything.
Solid,
but, like,
not outstanding game. But I did enjoy it though. It was good. A Gentle Rain.
This is a very, very much, even in the setup description, they say like make a cup of tea, get cozy. This is a very, more of an activity than anything, where you're placing out tiles and trying to make matches of these flower colors and stuff. And then if you make 4 tiles next to each other, it creates like a little hole, and then you can place one of your flower tokens. I think that matches one of the colors around, or something like that, into this. And you're trying to place out all your flowers before you run out of tiles. Karen and I will occasionally play this like in the morning and stuff, and it's very relaxed and very cool. And it's kind of designed as a kind of like a mental exercise, like just something for your brain to do to kind of, and I love that idea. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
fun
fun,
and very
game.
chill.
Yeah. But General Orders. That's
World
by
War II.
Osprey Games. This is a little 2-player game where you are putting out. It's a little war game, really.
It's a little worker placement game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a cool game. You're putting out troops and you're kind of trying to.
Like a little map like this big.
Yeah, it's very, very small. The box is like kind of one of those thick boy Osprey Games boxes that they do.
Yep.
And and you're basically your two little sides of the board, and you're like putting out troops and kind of trying to eliminate each other. A little bit of worker placement to it. It was cool. I liked it a lot. It's kind of one of those games that we probably won't bring up very often, but every time we do it, probably, oh, hey, this game's really good.
It's kind of like the Village Rails thing, where you're like, oh man, there's kind of like a fun game in this like smaller than you'd expect box. Village Rails, man. That's such a good game.
Village Rails is insanely good.
Yeah, but I like this a lot. I would like to replay this. There's actually 2 different sides to the map for these 2 different areas of World War II. It's a cool little, and again, the worker placement heads-upness is dope.
Yeah,
kind of abstracted and stuff. Very cool. Played Genpai, I'm not going to lie. Played it. I didn't get it while I played it. Didn't remember it. Didn't enjoy it.
Boom.
Moving on.
Done. Easy. Played Jess of Robin Hood. This is another kind of coin game.
Yes. This is in
but
there.
kind of a more entry level-ish.
Yeah, a little more easy. It's about the Sheriff of Nottingham squaring off with Robin Hood. I don't think it's quite perfect, but it is enjoyable for sure as a lighter intro into the coin game in terms of learning how the action selection system works in like a Cuba Libre. And I love like the theme of like Robin Hood and stuff.
Very cool.
If you're Robin Hood, you're trying to rob
nice
people and make money. It looks
yeah.
decent. But it seems a little weighted toward the sheriff.
Sure does,
I think. But I enjoy it for sure.
Yeah.
And
I
would play it
I
again.
enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. It's not my kind of game, but I enjoyed it just fine.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Play Get Bit. I just played this on my birthday. It was great. I played this earlier. Have you played this yet?
No.
Okay, it's great.
I need to.
I played this at in Nova Scotia with Foster Meeple, and then I just played it again on my birthday a couple weeks ago.
Trying to get bit.
And it's a silly game where basically like everyone has the same hand of cards, like 1 through 6 or 1 through 7 in a lower player count game. And basically you're going to choose a card, play it. If you have any duplicates, you don't move. And basically there's a line of divers, and then there's a shark behind you biting you. And basically, so if you don't move, that's bad. And then if you don't play a unique card, I can't remember the requirement now, you either move your divers.
You're basically trying not to be the last diver.
Well, yeah, but you move your
right?
divers either in ascending or descending order. So like the 6s will go first and the 5s. So it also depends. You want to be the last one to move because then you're going to be at the front of the line. Whoever's at the back gets bit, and then you actually literally remove a limb from your little diver.
So cool.
And basically, once you've lost both your legs, both your arms, you are gone. And it's the last person standing. It's very silly, but it's that kind of like, oh, is someone else going to play a 4? Okay, but it's great.
Is this the cutest Apex Predator of all time?
It's very cute.
Yeah, they made it, they rethemed it now where it's like, it's bathtub toys, and you're like, it's not, man. You're getting bit.
It's very silly, but very fun.
Yeah.
But No Hollow. I like
also
No Hollow.
very good art. No Hollow is fun,
It's
man.
good.
It's kind of got Carcassonne vibes where you're placing out tiles, you need to match pathways and grass.
Making
and
like
stuff.
rings of flowers.
You're
and
making
stuff.
these enclosed rings to collect mushrooms and stuff, and you're selling them to the market and things like that. It's pretty light.
Yes.
But like, you know what? It's got enjoyable art, great components. And an ease of entry to play, and I think it's a great, again, game for creating board gamers and stuff. I played this like 4 or 5 times, played it a few times with Karen, have enjoyed the heck out of it. It's honestly been really solid.
I enjoyed every time I played it. I was like, this is great.
The op is doing it up right now.
Yeah, the op's been doing it. Speaking of, not the op.
Go Nuts. Fried donuts. We always do.
Yes, indeed. We played this at BGG Spring, I think, and it's like a set collection game, right?
It's a set collection game where there's going to be, I think, 7 donuts on offer, and you have cards that match those, and you're trying to be
the only
a unique person.
Yeah.
You're the only person going to the 2 slot and stuff. And if you are, and you don't play where someone else plays, you get to collect that donut, and it's all kind of set collection. Yeah. Some might just be straight up points. It might be pairs of this type of donut, or there's like donuts that have actions and stuff, allow you to steal and move stuff around. Really fun game, and it comes down to that, like, try to go where no one else is going and kind of outfox your opponents in that mind game way, where you all end up going to the same thing because you all think you're being smart and clever, and you're not.
It was great. Little side collection game.
Fantastic.
You know,
And cute little anthropomorphized donuts. Goat.
play Goat and Goat.
Goat and goat.
Goat and Goat. This is a game. It's just like, wait, this is interesting because I played this at Gen Con last year, so it definitely shouldn't be the new area, but I played it at Dice Tower West with some of the Joey fam, Thinker Themers.
Maybe you didn't log it the first time or
Maybe
something.
not, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But nonetheless, played it with some of the Joey fam, Thinker Themers, wonderful community who run deep at Dice Tower West.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so this is an interesting set collection game where you're getting these goat cards and you're turning them in. Oh gosh, it's one of the things where it's like, at this point it's been a while and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but there's a lot of like trickiness with like how you turn things in and how you get these points cards. It's really, really fun. It's tough to find because I think you can only get it in
From Japan, yeah.
And it's by Ukazu brand, who a lot of their games do make it over here, but not always. But if you do see a copy of Go, try it and get it because it's really, really fun. I can't quite remember the parts of it that kind of make it that trickiness, but it's really, really fun.
Cool. I still haven't played it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm playing Mike.
Don't know. Played Goat Lords.
Multiple Go games in a row. We played this in a nice restaurant, Mike.
We played this in a very fancy restaurant. We did one of our dinners, which people can book through our Kickstarters.
Yeah.
At BGG Con, and the couple that we were with gifted us this game because it was for them one of those like early hobby games that got them into this. You know, like an early hobby game for us, like Exploding Kittens, and it's kind of similar. It's got the similar kind of funky art, and you're trying to collect these goats and put them onto your pile, but the top card of your pile is vulnerable. Other people can steal that goat, and therefore the points that goat is worth, and you're playing these action cards to mess up each other's stuff. It's just a very silly take-that-y game, but I actually enjoyed myself because it is it's just really, it's what it is. And then again, the setting of it, the company was great, and we were playing in this fancy Italian restaurant, and people were, and they were super cool. They didn't mind it. We were waiting for our dessert and stuff. They kept coming out like, what is this game and stuff? So it was the service there was amazing anyway, but it was cool that they were all like, yeah, man, get down, who cares?
Yeah, why not? Jabs, real quick, yes, there will be a Kickstarter later this year.
Yes, sir.
I'm not exactly sure the exact timing, but yes.
The Great Split is an I Split You Choose game where you are getting cards and you're putting kind of one into one side, one in the other, passing that. They are, your opponents are going to choose one half of the cards, the other half of the cards are going to come back to you. And you're going to be playing these cards ultimately to bump all these different tracks. So it's bumping tracks. It's Yamaha and Lorenzo Silva did like photosynthesis. One of my favorite designer duos, teams. Fantastic stuff. It's got really great Webster and Santiago art. It's just, if you like bumping tracks and do an I Split You Choose, it definitely works really well.
I really want to do that because I like
it's great. I really want to play it sometime when we have like a 5 or 6 player because it's really solid.
You like this game a lot right now.
Dude, Guild of Merchant Explorers is amazing.
I'm super into this game right now.
Yeah, Linnea showed it to me. It's on Board Game Arena now, and it is really fun.
Yeah,
man.
if you see it somewhere, you got to pick it up because I really want to try it now.
When it first came out, we heard a lot of buzz. You're kind of exploring a map, and you get these cards that will allow you to explore certain land types and stuff. And so it becomes that thing where we all have the same card access, but where we choose to explore with that becomes very different. And then you also get some unique exploration cards that differ. I just like all the stuff you're doing in this game. I totally get the hype that it had. It's very, very enjoyable.
Yeah,
really like this game a lot.
Love it. Played Harmonies.
Amazing.
Harmonies is great. It's kind of that kind of Cascadia type-ish game where you're building habitats, putting animals in there, trying to score these animal cards. They will want certain things like, I want a mountain next to this and then this next to this.
Just trying to make it all nice.
Trying to make it all nice, but then on top of that, each of those features, mountains, trees, lakes, meadows, those kind of things, all have their own ways of scoring. And a lot of times the animal cards and like the natural way those things score will kind of combat with each other a little bit. So it's like kind of trying to create harmony between those two things. It's gorgeous, as you can see. It's got great components. It's really, really fun. They basically print it, they sell out, and immediately go, okay, hold on, we got to print some more. They print it, they sell out again. So like, it's really, really fun.
Really
I like Harmonies a lot.
Yep.
Mike won't play this game with me.
I won't. I will never show it to Nick.
Mike won't play this game with me.
This is from.
Duck out. Oh, you're here.
It's from Keymaster Games. This is a redo of an older, not older, a few years ago game Harvest with some like new art and stuff. And it's a very kind of like light worker placement game where you are planting and tending to your crops and then harvesting and selling those crops for your points. You have your kind of board which has a bunch of forest spaces which you need to remove to clear space to make more crops, and then those become buildings that you can then put back on onto your board. So you're kind of playing with the idea of like clearing space, but then filling it back in. I enjoy it. I think it's, not at the highest levels because it is pretty darn light. But again, lighter, easier to access, worker placement, fantastic art. You have variable player powers and stuff like that. There's a lot to enjoy in this game, which is like a superb production, which Keymaster, of course, is known for. And so it's one of my, great, so glad it exists. And that frog on that cover is S tier, dude.
S tier.
God, what a great guy.
Played High Season. Don't listen to Alice in chat. High Season is great.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Are you starting to turn on it?
He might have
Don't let it infect you. Don't let it infect you.
Man.
High Season is the roll and write version of Grand Austria Hotel. And it is, I really liked it a lot.
It's enjoyable.
Why do you hate
The
it so
combos
much?
you can pull off are great. It's not so much that I don't enjoy it. It's just like, I just would so much rather play Grand Austria Hotel.
It's not a replacement for Grand Austria Hotel, for sure.
It's not.
Especially because two-player Grand Austria Hotel is not hard to get played.
No.
Yeah.
And not really much longer than this or anything. So it's just, it's not bad, but it can be hard to like really chain together the combos. And whereas in Grand Austria Hotel, I really like the challenge and the difficulty, here, sometimes it feels like you're butting your head against a wall.
Interesting.
So
okay.
I don't know.
It's a bad game. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. Played Hive?
I finally played Hive. I never played Hive.
I played it years ago.
I thought I was doing good, and then I lost. But it's enjoyable. I totally get why.
But people love it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's very
Trying
cool.
to capture the queen.
Trying to capture the queen, and the bugs move different ways, and as you're building this thing that creates like where they can move around. It's just really interesting stuff. I'm like, oh, this is really neat.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Totally get it now.
Yep.
Holly
We
Jolly.
just played Holly Jolly, for our kind of Christmassy stream that we did. It's a great little game where you're building this like tree of cards, and you're getting these cards, doing set collection. That's basically it. It's just getting cards, doing set collection. Very, very, very simple. But you break it out in between eating cookies, in the holidays or whatever.
How good.
And it's a very simple, very
festive,
easy, very
light
quick game. But you play during the holidays, it's great.
Yeah, it's got some cool stuff.
Yep.
Played the Fall Flavors expansion for Honey Buzz. All these different modules, they're all nice and light because they only add a little bit of a thing, so you can sort of just play with all of it. And honestly, I liked all the modules.
Yeah.
I would just play with all of it because Honey Buzz is a light enough game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all the things that it added.
Yeah, Honey Buzz is our favorite Elf Creek game by a pretty wide margin, and I really like Honey Buzz. And this kind of injected a little bit more life into it. And yeah, it's still really good. This made it even a little bit better. It's great.
Dave Phillips, allegedly for anything Foster Meeple, because I'm not sure Canadians are real.
Speaking of Foster Meeple, they're the ones that introduced us to this game.
Allegedly.
Hooky is...
It's like competitive Wordle, deduction.
It's maybe like a top 20 game for me.
It is so brain burny in a great way.
There's something about it, man.
This is a game where you are trying to find 3 letters of the alphabet that are not present among any players or in the middle of the table. There are 3 cards that are not there. Those are the kids playing hooky. And you are trying to do this by asking other players, you're giving them a 5-letter word, and they're going to tell you if it matches any of their letters that they have and how many matches this word makes. And by doing that, you can cross-reference with maybe your letters because you know those are not the kids playing hooky because you have them, and you're trying to like whittle down to like what 3 cards are not here. What letters does no one have? And it just shreds your brain trying to track what everyone is doing and what everyone has. But it is doable, and it's so fun.
Yeah, it's because it's the mix of you're trying to do the deduction, which is tough, but then you're also trying to think of words that help you deduce more.
And get clear information.
I need to find out if Mike has the P and the K. What word, 5-letter word has P and K?
Plinko.
Okay, Mike, Plinko. And then Mike, it's that really interesting mix of like trying to deduce, but also needing to think of words that work. It's
fantastic,
stupid good.
Man.
It's so good. House of Fado. This is the other kind of light Vita Lacerda game.
Vita Lacerda.
Good call,
Lacerda.
man. Yeah, just like Bot Factory, House of Fado takes the kind of worker placement part of the Gallerist and puts it into a game where you are trying to get cool Portuguese musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah, into your restaurant and trying to kind
really
of increase
cool
the
theme,
fame level.
Great art. We both thought it was good.
Yeah.
Didn't love it, but thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it's solid. I like
Makes me want to play
everything.
Gallerist.
Yeah, I like the action, the worker placement style is really cool, so it makes me excited for the Gallerist. I like the art and everything here. It's just into a thing where it's like I'd rather play a heavier game probably, but it's not that this or Bot Factory are bad at all. It's just like, man, I just would rather play the big boy because that's going to be great. So same thing, but great art, great production and stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
For sure.
Still enjoyed it. I got to play. I don't know if this
Played Imperium Horizons and Legends and now Horizons, and you quite like these games.
I really like them. Yes.
Like Harvest for you, you will not play this with me.
That's true. I want to play this with you.
Keep saying
I
that.
think you'd enjoy it. Come over to my house. We'll play it.
You come to my place.
No, we don't play games at your place. Although we did for your birthday. It was great.
Yeah, we did.
But nonetheless, I played Imperium Legends or Classics, whatever one it was, with our good friend Visor, and then we had to do a how to play for BGG for Imperium Horizons.
Right.
And this is cool. This is a game where you're taking a faction, like you're like the Japanese, you're like the Aztecs, you're something like that. Each deck is completely unique, and then you're basically playing out these cards. There's a bunch of like commons cards you can get, and you're basically trying to like further your civilization, get points, do all this kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. I really enjoy it a lot. It's also got a really cool solo mode where you basically will take one of the nations, one of the factions, and you're going to play like 5 or 10 games as that faction, and you kind of have to like increase your difficulty each time. And you're basically trying to, I think it's like it's one of the things where you're trying to like lose 5 games before you lose 5 games, or sorry, win 5 games before you lose 5 games, kind of thing. Huh. But it's cool because it's like David Turtsey, Nigel Buckle, they make very deep games, and every single faction is very deep. And so it's one of the things, like the solo mode is cool because you play the same faction over and over and over again.
To learn like what's the engine of this faction?
How do you work this faction? And I really enjoyed this. This is a game I probably would play solo because it would be the easiest to get to the table.
Sure.
And I like that concept of playing the same faction over and over and over again. I really like it. We don't have Legends or Classics, but I want to get them because they're all completely mixable. You can mix anything with them.
I feel like this is going to be the replacement to Empires of the North. Because
it's a lot heavier, for sure.
But like we also gravitate toward heavier games, and the idea of like this unique faction deck, but like put into some more beef. I'm like, maybe.
It's very cool. I really, really enjoy it.
Very, very cool. You played Incoherent.
Okay, Incoherent. Yes, I had to look up this one. This was we played this with our brother Chaz and our sister Rosie and a couple of their friends. And this is a game where you're given a card, and the card has multiple, like a phrase on it.
Yeah, like you're saying nonsense, right?
It's like a nonsensical phrase, and that phrase, if you say it kind of again and again and again, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it starts to sound like a word or a different phrase. And I can't remember what it was, but it was like the example I gave you was like pro per bees, maybe. So you're like properties. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's a bad example, but it's like that's kind of what you're doing. It's just a silly little party game. It was fine.
And I think a lot of times they make you say something cheeky.
Yeah, there's like a not safe for work edition, and that one has like some adulty stuff. It was fine. It's a great little party game to play with a bunch of little people, but like I would never really seek this game out, but I would play it. It was fine.
Linnea says, am I a snob because I saw from the creators of What Do You Mean? I went,
Yeah, pretty much.
It's definitely that kind of game, right?
Yeah.
I was playing in the footsteps of Mary Curie. This is a follow-up to In the Footsteps of Darwin. Very different game, but in the same line.
Yes.
And this is a little cube tower dropper.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going to spit some cubes out, and those are going to be different materials you're using to do alchemical stuff as you go through kind of Mary Curie's life and different events and things. And it's, again, kind of a lighter game showing off kind of different mechanisms, and I really enjoyed it. Like the art and stuff makes me want to play In the Footsteps of Darwin, which is a tile layer. And again, just like great, kind of an educational lean where they have information about Mary Curie's life.
A little lighter than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a little more beef to it.
Sure.
But other than that, it was.
But I think that's the mission.
Yes, totally.
You know, and so I'm like, great, keep making these
give
because
this to a kid who likes science.
Put it in schools and stuff. And
totally.
It's just like, oh, you're going to learn about this person? Let's gamify this learning. Just awesome mission for these games for sure.
Yeah, totally.
I played this once a long time ago at a Strategicon, and it's just a straight up push your luck kind of game where you're in a temple as you're all exploring, and you're deciding at times to stay or go. And sometimes, based on what cards are coming out, if you're the only one to leave, you're going to get these bonuses. You can stay in, you get gems, but then there's these hazards, and if the same hazard comes up twice, you kind of bust and get nothing.
Die.
So that is accurate. Just really fun. Sorry. Just a fun push your luck game.
Nice. We played Infiltrators.
Nick, played it correct?
One person in the group did not play this game correct. I'm not going to say who. And they more or less ruined the game for everybody.
Nick was just vibing.
I was just vibing. I didn't understand what we were doing. And afterwards, I was like, oh, yeah, I messed up this game for everyone. It was a cool game, though.
I think the mistake you made is one that happens. You're doing deduction stuff, and it's kind of like a Similo or something where you are trying to point to like what cards you have by saying like, hey, the card I have matches this, and then that might be the number, it might be the color, it might be a factor of that number. So, you know, and you're trying to parse information this way, and it's a really cool game, but we got to by the rules.
When you have a triple-digit IQ, which I clearly do, you read into things and you try to make games bigger than they are, and
Nick did.
And that's what I did because I'm a genius. So boom, get wrecked. It was cool though. I liked the game. But inheritors.
Linnea and Aaron, Nori, oh my God, Nick, you took your hand off the wheel.
Okay, what was? Oh God, we can't go back.
Go back, man.
What were the games? Oh, do I try it?
No, okay, try it. You're gonna go so far back. You always go so far back.
I know.
You took a hand off the wheel. You said,
"Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad."
This happens once per.
Yes, it does.
Review.
I clicked it. That's the thing.
And stop. Inheritors. I clicked around. Didn't quite know what was going on. Is enjoyable, but I don't know.
Glad we went back for that.
I definitely clicked around in this, and then halfway through the game, I asked my buddy, he's like, "Hey man, you know what's going on?" He's like, "No, I'm just clicking around." I was like, "Cool." Neither of us know what's going on.
Glad we went back for all these.
Resource set collection stuff. I think it mentions Al Tigris. Now
Great game.
Here. Great game.
We just played this the other day.
Yesterday.
We played a couple times recently because
it's right there.
It's right. We can see it right there because our playthrough for the expansion is coming out on Monday. Our playthrough for Scholars is coming out tomorrow. Oh. So if you saw our playthrough of the Wayfarers expansion, that came out on Monday. So Inventors. I guess the Kickstarter for it was the very beginning of 2024.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's really, really good. It's the heaviest of the South Tigris. This game, you are making like inventions. You're like inventors. You're like inventing something. Someone can then build it. You can then publish it. You can test it. You're moving up this river. There's a lot going on. This game definitely has like the most going on of the three. But I really, especially because we just played it recently a couple times, I really, really like Inventors. The South Tigris series is, Mikey will be doing after all these come out, we'll be doing a Best of the South
video
Tigris
essay talking about the South Tigris
which you
trilogy.
Did for the West
Best
Kingdom.
of the West. Yep, I've done it for the Great Western Trail
Best
games
of the South.
as well.
And then we have to do a Best of the Cardinal Directions. That would be many years from now, but we're going to have to do all 12.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Inventors is great. The expansion's really good too.
Great expansion. Player
Super
powers.
good.
Awesome.
We played Ironwood.
Ironwood.
I'm glad we got this played before the end of the year.
We did. I need to play it again. I need to play it again.
I think we need to. This is a game you need a couple plays because you need to learn what the cards do. Because neither one of us, I think, feel like played very good.
No, and I thought I was doing some stuff. Then you're like, okay, cool, I'm out and I'm winning. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So need to play it again. It's a heads up asymmetric. I love the idea. These asymmetrics are kind of the woods folk and the kind of iron people. Your components are either wood or iron, depending on who you're playing. You have your own unique deck of cards you're playing. This is one that will reward you for repeat plays.
Yes.
And so I enjoyed it, but I need to play it again because, I agree. I think we both played it so bad.
Yeah, and this is also one of those games where it's like if one player knows
you're gonna get
the game,
rolled.
you're going to get rolled.
Yeah.
And I do know it slightly better because I'm the one who learned the game, and so like I rolled Mike pretty good.
Yeah.
I also didn't like love it quite as much as I thought I would. I want to keep playing it though because I really love the concept. I love the art. I love
the card play and stuff is cool.
Production, it seems cool.
Yeah.
As Jeff says, it feels like what he wants two-player Root to be, and I'm like, I'm kind of down with that concept.
I agree with that.
So
off that first play, but I need to play it again to try to get good.
Yeah, but it's also pretty quick, so you can get it. Jekyll and Hyde vs. Scotland Yard. I played this first with our good friend Charlie, and then I showed you. Was it Christmas? We played at the cabin.
It was up at the cabin.
Yeah.
So it was,
No, it wasn't Christmas.
It was
yeah.
after Thanksgiving, I think.
I really like this game. This is a cool two-player. It's kind of three-player trick-taking game.
I mean, yeah,
kind of in a way.
The city is playing.
Scotland Yard. The city is playing, and this is a trick-taking game where you are Jekyll and Hyde. You're basically trying to outrun Scotland Yard, and you do that by winning tricks. There are certain tricks that allow you to move. As Jekyll and Hyde, certain tricks will allow Scotland Yard to move, and you're basically trying to stay ahead of them. This is also a game that has like 10 different chapters in it, and the chapters will change the rules
Start adding
kind of
more
as
difficulty.
you go. I really enjoy it. We only ever played like the base game. We haven't played any of the chapter stuff, but I really, really like the base game as is.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're trying to balance between Jekyll and Hyde and the amount of tricks you win to dictate how far you move as well. So it's some nice challenge there.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, we've only played the early chapters so far.
This is that Jiraku game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Jiraku. So this is the game when Mike was playing Cooper Baby for the second time, and I was like, God, why would you do that to yourself? I went to go play games with our friend Tara. And so I was playing games with her and a couple of their friends, and we played Jiraku, which Tara hadn't played yet, but had heard a lot about. This is an interesting, like, trick-taking, like, area control game that was Not fun. But here's the thing. We found out like a week later that we played a massive rule wrong, and that like massively changed the game in the main way that we didn't like. So I'm going to leave my review there because I didn't like the way we played the game, but we also played the game super wrong.
The designers also did not like the way you played the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, that's
not what I said.
That's not what I said.
Joaku seemed cool, didn't like it. Turns out we played it wrong. So jury's still out.
You know, whatever that means. Whatever that means.
Yeah. Just Desserts.
I played Just Desserts. This is like a really light game. I played it with Jamie on Board Game Arena, and you are getting these cards that are going to show different types of desserts, and like the types of, this is like a cake, and it's this thing, and then you're trying to kind of play cards as efficiently as possible to get customers the things they want, and they're going to have those needs that match those cards, and so it's oftentimes the cards you're playing, you might have to play multiple cards to get all of the things showing, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just very, very light. Like, I don't know if I'll ever play it again, but like, yeah, solid.
Yeah. We played King of Tokyo. We actually just played the dual. We've played this game before. Why is this new?
I have no idea why this is here.
Did you play King of Tokyo last year? I did.
Maybe.
Well, here's the thing. We just.
Oh no, I did. I played on Board Game Arena. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we haven't played it since we started logging plays, which is why I was just like, when did that happen? King of Tokyo is fun. It's just smash them up, rolling dice, Yahtzee style, and you're either in Tokyo and you're hitting everybody else, and they're all hitting you, or you're out of Tokyo and you're trying to damage the boss and be the last one standing.
We just played the dual version at a Denny's yesterday, and it was also fun.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising. Kingdom Rush is tough, man. I want to like these games
Me too,
so badly. I
too.
love the concept of these games.
Me too.
They are just too difficult and too fiddly.
Too fiddly and too hard.
It's a really cool concept where basically it's a Kingdom Rush where it's kind of like a lane.
It's a tower defense.
It's kind of like MOBA game, yeah, where it's a tower defense where like these enemies are going to be moving down towards your tower. If they get there, they're going to be damaging it. That's how you lose.
You're playing stuff to these towers to launch attacks.
Yeah, you're putting stuff on your towers to like launch attack. You also have a hero that can like move around and attack. When you're putting attacks down, you're putting them down as polygonal tiles, and you're trying to cover up all the spots, all these
good
tiles.
things.
It's all really cool, but it is way too hard. We played the original one a couple times, got rolled every single time.
Yeah.
We played this one a couple times, got absolutely
destroyed.
rolled every single time. And then the whole concept that you're putting out these polygonal tiles, which is a nice little puzzle, but it just means it's really fiddly. And this game is so close to being incredible.
Yeah. It's a thing where this is based on an app. This is based on a video game, like a phone game. Where you're doing tower defense stuff, and you know what? It's just a lot easier to do in the phone, where you just click a thing and then it starts shooting stuff out. And I love the attempts, and it has cool stuff, but it's just not there. And this one did not fix the things that we had problems with the first one. We were so bummed. We're like, no, I wanted you to be better.
It's really cool concept that just did not work, unfortunately. I really want to like this one so bad.
If you want to take a long time to get destroyed, that's a game for you.
Nar's great, though.
Nar's fantastic. It's a tableau building game. You're playing out cards to then spend to get these exploration cards. So you're kind of building up your tableau, tearing it down, in a race to 40 points. It's got a lot of grace up to it.
It's
fantastic.
Great. We played
fantastic game.
Played it a bunch. It's great.
You should play it.
Played Knee Deep in Hexes. This was on Kickstarter earlier this year. This is a game where you are playing out cards, moving around like you're kind of like, you have like vehicles and stuff like that. Yeah. It's kind of like futuristic-y, and you're battling each other. It was fine. This is not really our kind of game in general, but for this kind of game, it was cool. And it was
decent.
Yeah. Nothing else really to say. It was fun. Yeah. Knitting Circle. This is a Calico game. Not really didn't play anything like Calico.
No.
But very fun.
It's very fantastic. Yeah, you're collecting these like bits of materials to make clothing items. You're making like socks and cozy stuff.
Scarves
so
and stuff.
Feels very much in that same theme as Calico, but a very different kind of game. And the garments you complete are often going to give you end game scoring stuff. So you're going to be then trying to collect certain things and do all that. So it gives you some like fun stuff to munch on for sure.
So we're only on K. Hey,
listen,
we're going fast for us.
This
is very fast. This is very fast. We're on K. We're almost halfway through the alphabet.
256 new games, you know?
Yeah.
You played Kid Nowhere for the first time?
I did play Kid Nowhere. You had played it?
I played it.
Before the New Year?
Yeah.
When did you play?
I played it in the fall of 10.
Oh, wow. That's right. I played Kid Nowhere for the first time. This is a great game. I love this game. This is my favorite game of last year. It's a weird game. It's like this very odd market game where you're building out this city and you have all these goods, but you're always just paying money because you're always just paying the market value for those goods. Those markets will be fluctuating constantly throughout the game. It's really, really cool, very unique, feels very different. CGE with their kind of S and release every year, be crushing it.
Mr. says, what's your all-time #1 games? For me, as of our last rankings, is Wayfarers and South Tigers. For him, it was Prodigals Club. Could change when we do it again this year.
Go watch our top 10, yeah.
Don't Llama Dice.
Is this the one we just played?
Yeah.
Okay. There's so many llama games nowadays. I'm like, I can't remember which one we just played. This one. This was fun. We got this. You got this for our sister Rosie.
For Rosie for Christmas, and yeah, it's in the llama games where you don't want to take cards and stuff.
Try to get rid of your cards.
Try to get rid of your cards, and here you are incorporating rolling dice. To I don't even remember what the heck did the dice do?
You're basically rolling dice, and then if you make matches with those dice, you can get rid of cards. But then if you don't make any matches, you have to like take cards.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you can like llama, which is like really bad, and so you have to take a whole bunch of different stuff.
Llama
it was
drama.
a great little. It's super quick. It's super easy. It's a great little game, and Rosie really liked it too.
Yeah. Landmarks.
Landmarks is a game again. Is yeah, it's Landmarks. I think is really fun. The problem with Landmarks is Landmarks kind of has that Mysterium problem where like one player, the player who's giving the clues, is playing like
90% of the game.
Like 3/4 of the game, and it's really fun being that person. And then everyone else is kind of just like waiting for the clue, debating a little bit, and then the other person's kind of doing everything else. This is a game kind of like a So Clover or something like that, where you're giving out a word clue, and you are trying to get people to go a certain way around this board, trying to avoid hazards, trying to avoid things. So basically, you give them a clue, and then they have to place it on the board where they think it fits, and where they think it fits, but usually how it's related to other words on the board. It's really, really fun, and it's a really cool concept, but being the clue giver is really fun, and you're doing like Mike said, like 90% of the game, and everyone else is just kind of trying to decide where the things go, and they're kind of just waiting for you to get clues done. It's a really cool concept that kind of doesn't work in that way Mysterium does, where like the ghost of Mysterium is doing like half of the game, you know? It's really, really
it's also like not
enjoyable.
Really a clear victory. And
it's not really like a good win or lose condition.
It's a cool the clue giving aspect is neat, but it's quick, so you can play multiple rounds and everyone can. But it's like no,
it's fine.
I played Let's Catch the Lions, like a little kind of chessy game where you have different animals that move in specific directions, and you're ultimately trying to capture your opponent's lion. So like chickens can only like move forward one space, but then certain things can actually even upgrade and become like hens. They have more movement abilities. It was very cute, and it's a kind of like a more family friendly version of another game, and I can't remember the name of that game, but it's very kind of adorable. Yeah.
Info said anyone complaining about the pace clearly didn't sit through all of last year's not rapid 6-hour stream. Nothing but love over here. In this context is important. Yeah, it's true. Let's go to Japan. I played this. Did you play this last year?
No.
Okay. Mike and I just played this with Mike on his birthday.
Last year now that 2024 is now last year, so yes, I did play it last year.
Okay, either way.
I didn't play in 2023, if that's what you're asking.
No. So you did play it last year?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I couldn't remember if you had or not. You played on BJ and stuff. Yeah. Let's Go to Japan is great. I first played this at BGG Spring with Jamie, and then we actually just played it for your birthday the other day. Let's Go to Japan is cool. It's a really cool game where you're planning out a week-long trip to Japan, and you're planning different activities for the game. And it's really interesting because you're drafting these cards out. These are all activities like go to Mount Fuji, go do this, go do that, whatever. And you're playing them out on the days of the week, Monday through Saturday, and at the end of the game, you're basically going to go from Monday, you're going to go on your trip, and you're going to score all those cards. So it's interesting because the whole game is planning, because you're playing all these cards, but nothing's happening. You're not scoring, you're not doing anything with these cards until the end of the game, where then all the cards activate. It's a very interesting, 0 to 100 kind of game, but it's really fun because the planning is tough because you're getting all these symbols, and the symbols will matter for later days, but symbols on later cards haven't happened yet because those parts of your trip haven't happened. So it's just this planning puzzle, and it's really good.
Yep, really good.
Yeah.
We're slowing down. We got to speed up.
I know, sorry, let's go.
We're getting in the weeds.
Live at Amazonia. I really want to show this game to Mike and play this with Jeff and Jamie. This is a really, really cool game.
Bag builder.
Bag building game where you're getting various wild species and stuff like that. It's really, really fun. I really want to play with Mike. I think you're going to absolutely enjoy it. Look at that bird.
I played Line It. I played with Jeff and Jamie as well, and this is a game where you're playing cards to kind of create these long lines and then start a new line and kind of bank your points for that. So you want to kind of play as long of sequences as possible.
I was learning in the footsteps of Marie Curie about playing this. That's why I didn't play it. I played Loot. I thought this game was fine.
It was okay, yeah. We played it at Gen Con. I played it a couple times on BGA. And you're kind of going out onto spaces on the board and collecting resources and doing stuff. It's fine. It's got some cool stuff to it, but it's just not an all-time game.
Yeah, it's good, but it's fine.
I played Lost Cities. Again, I think it's just that I haven't played it in a long time, so recorded as new, but it's just a great two-player card game. Kind of really draft denial. Like you're trying to, I know someone's going for this type of card, so I have them in my hand, but I'm not going to discard them because I don't want you to have them, so it's very kind of in your face. We have Lost Cities, the board game, which I really want to play because I think we're going to really enjoy that game more than Lost Cities by a lot. So anyway, but Lost Cities is a classic.
Also, Lost Cities Roll and Write, also very fun.
Yeah. Played Lost Seas. This is a follow-up to. That's fine. Oh, Lure
was next.
Lost Seas is good. You have different goals. You're trying to make stuff in your grid.
I was clicking it.
Lure is an all-play game where you are rolling dice and trying to catch fish. And now Luthier.
Luthier, indeed. Luthier is a big. Patterson Games, they make Distilled. This is a game where you are a luthier or a luthier.
Yeah.
You're building instruments. Worker placement. It's got a really interesting
shows.
Yeah, it's got a really interesting worker placement where your workers have different strengths because different members of your family. The kids are stupid idiots and they have like one strength and stuff. Wow. And so you put out your workers and then you reveal spots you reveal all the workers at that spot and then they activate highest to lowest. Really interesting kind of worker placement. I really like. I had a horrible game when we played it for the playthrough, and I still really loved it. So I really like Luthier. I cannot wait to play it.
Yep. Agreed.
Easy.
We played Mad Kala, which is a two-player Mancala style game where you're picking up gems and dropping them off and taking the action, and it's you're attacking each other. So it's Manny Tremblay design, and it kind of feels Dice Throne-ish, where it's a heads-up battle and you're different characters from Wonderland's War. Really cool game. Can't wait to play the final.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Mark
the difference. Yeah,
Mark the difference. Yeah, this is an interesting game where. It's such a fun concept where
you see like scribble art.
It's kind of like scribble art, and then you basically on yours are going to make, I think it's 5 different changes. Like you put a line here, you put a dot there, little changes, and then you give it to your opponents, and they have to see if they can find your changes. So they can't be too big, but they also, you get more points for how big the change is. I thought it was really fun, actually. I thought it was an absolute blast. I was like, how is this going to work? And it was low-key really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Davis is great.
I
played Mandala the first time,
Yeah, so this is I did too last year. A game where you're playing out these kind of cards into either the central row or on your side to kind of collect cards of these different colors. And the cards that you collect later in the game are worth more, so you're kind of trying to make sure you get as much as you can of those late card games. And it's very pretty and stuff. Cool.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Very cool.
And did we get the other Mandala?
You got like flowers or something. You got another.
It's in the same universe
line,
or whatever.
But it's like plays up to 4.
Yeah.
You played Maple Valley.
I played Maple Valley. I played this with Jamie late at night, and it was really fun. This was in the same Creature Comforts universe. I was never a big fan of Creature Comforts. I like Maple Valley more. You're kind of moving around a board, getting resources, still doing similar things to Creature Comforts, but there's a little bit more going on. It's a little heavier, and I really enjoyed it. I would like to get it at some point because I thought it was cool. But I did enjoy
we have it. We just have.
Oh, we do have it. That's right.
Jeff and Jamie gave us a copy.
She had an extra copy. That's right. Yeah, I did enjoy it quite a lot. I want to show it to you. I think you would enjoy it.
I played Martian Dice. It's like an older Scott Alms game. It's you're rolling these dice and trying to like collect humans and cows and stuff. But then you're going to be also maybe rolling tanks. So you need aliens to kind of fight all the tanks. You rolling need an alien to kind of match with it. Super silly, very light game. We played on Board Game Arena, and I like it a lot. It's just dumb.
Wow, that's great. I love it. Played X-Men, Marvel X-Men.
Marvel United,
Marvel United X-Men, sorry. It's great. I love Marvel United. This changes some little things here and there, but nothing crazy. I actually
mostly more characters, right?
Yeah, more characters. I just played the Multiverse one, which is also great because it's still just Marvel United. I love Marvel United. I want all of it. Mostly, but it's like one of the things where I think I like the minis more than I like the games of these. Sure. But I do still really enjoy the games. But I want to collect them for the minis. I think it's some of the best minis in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. I played Masters of Renaissance, which is a Lorenzo Il Magnifico, the card game, sort of. It does some stuff where you're getting resources and stuff. I think I definitely like Lorenzo better, but it does some cool stuff where you're just limited in what resources you can hold, so you're kind of doing that, and then as you get those cards, you're kind of running those engines to convert resources into stuff, and it has this cool marble selection system where you push a marble out, and that's going to kind of give you a row or column in the resources you collect. So a neat little thing.
You played Memoir 44?
I did play Memoir 44. I played a few games of this. It's like a classic, fairly easy war game, and you're going into different battles and have you play as both sides of the fight, and you're trying to kind of win out. And so I didn't play particularly well, but I enjoyed it. I get why it's a classic.
Yeah, classic for a reason, right?
Middle Ages is a tile placement game. It's kind of got some King Domino-ness to it, where if you choose a lower value, which is usually like a less good tile, you'll get to go earlier, and then when you take that tile, you choose the next tile you're going to get in the next round, and each of these tiles are going to kind of score different ways. It's got great presence because the tiles are uniquely shaped for the columns they go into, so it all kind of clicks together. Nice.
Yeah. We want to play. So I play that one, yeah. But Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age. I really want to play. This is on my kind of top of my
Play today.
See, I'll play today.
We're gonna play it today.
Top of my, hey, we're just hanging out. Mike and I just like at my place, something like that. Want to play a game? I really want to play Dawn again. This is a great board and dice game. You know how we love board and dice. Hey, thanks so much, Robert. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Hit your goals for 2025. We'll talk about our goals in our anticipated game
next week. Yeah.
But thank you so much for that super chat. We really appreciate it so much.
To get on Good Morning America. That's our goal.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, Minos is great. It's great board and dice goodness, super combo heavy, lots of stuff going on. It's incredible as board and dice games pretty much always are.
Yeah, dude, so good.
Play Space Agency.
I don't know, man. I like the idea. You're just trying to stay on a rocket. You're astronauts. But there's this whole thing of like the cosmos at the end of the thing, and I don't think it's literally possible to get to. I don't think it's possible. Yeah. And I think Reiner Knizia is just dangling the carrot for us. And I'm just, now it's all I can think about. It's just like, I want to get to the end of the board, but I don't think you can.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't dislike it. I like the theme more than I like the game, I think, is where I'm standing on that. But Monopoly Deal.
Yeah, man. Little card game version of Monopoly. It's honestly fun for a couple minutes. I play it over Monopoly every time.
100%. If you don't play Monopoly, play Monopoly Deal.
Yeah.
It's real talk.
Moonrollers, not good.
I don't really like Moonrollers that much. We played randomly like 6 games of this at BGG fall.
This is very quick.
It is very fall. We kept being like, oh, we have like 30 minutes for dinner. You want to play Moonrollers again? Okay. But every single time we play, we're like, I don't really like that much. Do you want to play again? All right, I guess we have 30 minutes.
I think it was like kind of like, maybe we're just not getting some aspect of it. It's in the Moonrakers universe from Ivy Studios. It's just, I think it was sort of like a fun little side project, and it feels like that. We're like, this hasn't got like the most legs or anything. But
yeah, but it's a game where you're like trying to get crew, but like you can kind of work on a crew, but then someone else can finish them. And basically what kept happening over and over and over again is like one player
just gets all the stuff.
All the crews, and no one else. There was multiple times where one person had like 6 crew and everyone else had nothing. It was just like crazy runaway leader problems, and I'm like, we put it a bunch of times. So I don't know if we're just messing it up or what, but we didn't like it.
Mycelia is a little kind of, I think it's deck building ish. You're playing cards and stuff to do various things, and you're getting these little gemmies and stuff like that, and you're moving things around. You're basically trying to get everything off of your board. You're trying to like migrate it. It was actually really solid. I played it with Jamie at BGG Spring last year.
We're butting against the pole. Huh? We're butting against the pole right there.
Butting against the pole, man.
It was a Nana Christmas edition.
We did, yeah.
We played this at BGG as well with foster people who've come up a billion times.
I'm jealous now that we don't have this version.
Me too. I really like this version. We love Nana. We've talked about Nana a bunch of times. It's like Gamers Go Fish. This adds a kind of chaotic element where like gifts will happen where you then have to like start passing your hands to each other.
Pass your hand, which is great because then you have more information, but it's also more stuff to forget, which is great.
Really outstanding. Nana is outstanding. Love Nana or Trio. And the Christmas version is even more fun.
Yeah, agreed.
So love it.
Nano Toridori is, I don't know if it's the same designers, but it feels like it's the same people as Nana, but it's kind of scout-ish where you're trying to get rid of your hand by playing sets of the same number, but they have to be next to each other in your hand to play out. And then you also have to be collecting cards from the middle. So you're trying to make sure that you can get these sets of the same number. So it's kind of scout-ish in that way and putting it in the right spot of your hand. So it was enjoyable.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nature. This is the newest Evolution game. I don't know.
Nah, man.
I
just think we've moved beyond Evolution.
I think so too.
The Evolution series of games.
There's a bunch of different modules. The modules were cool. They changed the game very little. I don't know. Oceans is the best Evolution, and I just don't think we need any more Evolutions.
Yeah,
and yeah, this
that's
one
all it
was,
is.
again, if you like Evolution, yeah, it's still Evolution. It's still a good game. I just do not think that this version needed to happen, basically,
Sure.
and I still like Oceans by far the most.
It is nice as a celebration of like all things Evolution put
Yeah.
into one big box. I would think of it like an Evolution big box.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's cool, but yeah, we would just play Oceans.
Yeah, I would
We
play
would
Oceans. I still think Oceans is by far the best of all of them.
Yeah.
Play Nekojima. This is a great little stacking game.
Yeah, it's a little dexterity game where you're putting these poles, two poles with a string connected, and they're like power lines, and you're stacking them up and trying to be the person that didn't knock over the tower. So it's really fun, and especially nice because it's a dexterity game that is actually pretty difficult
Yes.
to not tip over.
Yes.
But it's a very quick little dexterity
Yeah,
game.
love it though.
Yeah.
I finally played Nemo's War
Yeah.
Ultimate, or Nemo's War, the Ultimate Edition is what I played. I had to learn this game because I had to do a rules video for it for BBG, so I was like, okay, this is, because we've had this game for years, and I kept opening the rule book being like, nah.
Long
But then I had to write a rules video for it, so I was like, well, now I have to learn it, and I really, really enjoy it. This is a cool game, a solo-only game. Big ol' honker, where you are Captain Nemo on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You're doing a whole bunch of different stuff. You have motives in the game, and that kind of dictates
Changes your gameplay style.
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's going to dictate what scores well and what doesn't score well, and that can really change up the game a lot. I really, really like this game. I almost broke it out the other day again. I think it's a really cool game.
I need to play it.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a rules video on it.
Yeah, I played Newton. This is one that you played a long time ago, and you're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I played it, and it's fine. Like,
Yeah, that was
there's all
my-
this kind of
that was the verdict.
strengthening action stuff, and I enjoyed what you're doing, but I sort of felt like I'm just sort of doing these random things, and there's other Simone Luciani games I like better. Played Next Station Paris.
Yep.
I've also played Tokyo and New York. If you like,
the thing about this one?
there's like. These landmarks, and there's kind of the ability to kind of make these crossing, these like overpasses and stuff. This one feels like the most open and like going to generate the highest scores, which I really enjoyed. But it's very much just the Next Station game.
They're all great.
So rolling right, we're making subway lines, and this time in Paris.
Played Nexus Ops for the first time. This is the new version from Renegade that just came out. And we were kind of like, oh, I get why this is a classic. This is very, very fun. Yeah, it's kind of like an area control game where you're getting these gems, I can't remember what they're called.
Like mining it, and then you can put out units with that.
With that, you're kind of trying to get each other away, fight each other. It was really fun. I liked it a lot. We have a playthrough for it, so you can watch that. But I was like, oh, I get why people like this game. Yep. Okay, cool. I get this way around.
Play the Nucleum Australia expansion, which is a new map for Nucleum. Man, we love Nucleum a lot. In Australia, it gives some cool stuff, and I'm just like, please keep making more maps. Thank you.
Please do. Yeah, it doesn't really change the game that much. It's pretty minimal, but more maps, please. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. We played Null Initiative, which is a trick-taking game where the cards you get will kind of go into their different color piles. I think it's trick-taking, isn't it?
It is trick-taking, yeah.
And then kind of like a Circus Flaccati, only the highest value card of each color will score. So you're really trying to like win, the right cards at the right time, because they go onto these piles and cover stuff. So you don't want to cover up a high number with a low one. So it becomes very kind of strategic and tactile.
Kind of classic trick-taking. Been around for a long time. Very good.
Fun game.
Very, very good. Played the number. I played this at Dice Art West and then showed you recently. This is, again, where you're making like a 3-sequence number. They're then going to be arranged high to low. If the lower numbers have any numbers that are in your number, yours will get flipped straight down.
Digits,
so it's like this kind of thing where you're constantly trying to like mess people over by putting a low number that's going to have some high numbers in there, because if you put like 099, then if someone puts like 942, you match the 9, they have to put their thing down. It's just that, getting each other's heads. It's just silly fun, and I enjoy it.
Good game. We've got Odin. This is a fantastic game. Again, kind of scoutish, kind of like that Nano Toridori game, where you're either playing out, I think, cards of the same value or number, or color or number, or something like that, or the same number or a sequence of numbers. Doesn't matter. And you're trying to play like scout a higher value thing. So if I play like 872 or whatever, I have 872. You're trying to play a higher thing, but then if you have cards that you displace, you have to take one of them into your hand. So it's this idea of like, you have to be constantly refilling your hand with some stuff. So you need to try to ultimately have it where you can put out all the rest of your cards to win the round, and then the other player loses points if they have cards left over and stuff. I really like this game a lot. I want to get this game. I haven't come across it yet, but it's very enjoyable.
Cool.
Very enjoyable game.
Oracle Delphi.
So good, man.
I really
we got
it.
this at that at BGG Spring. They had this kind of like auctiony fire sale thing where they had a bunch of games that were being donated and stuff and given away, and so they had them for really cheap. Like every game that wasn't a special game, this was one of those. It's like $5, and like Jeff got like Black Angel for like $10 or something crazy. Yeah. So anyway, this was one of those games. I'm like, I've always heard about this game. It's not really around anymore, so I picked it up and I played it with Karen. And it's kind of a race to get your objectives done. Stefan Feld. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I got to show you.
I really want to play.
Really great game.
Really want to play.
Really awesome game.
We played Pagan.
Played Roanoke.
We played this one for Capstone around Gen Con time. There's another 2-player asynchronous game where you
This
have.
game was dope, dude.
This game was cool. You have like a witch hunter and then the witches, and you have different goals where the witch hunter is trying to find the true witch amongst all these villagers, and the witch, of course, is trying to not have that happen. And you're basically trying to get them to falsely accuse a bunch of people and stuff. It's really in your face, back and forth, asynchronous. It's really, really cool. And there's like some more stuff. I think there's some expansion stuff.
There's like scenarios and
Yeah.
things, and I think expansion
I think
stuff.
it's really, really cool. I really want to play this game more.
Agreed. Played Pampero. Big ol' Euro.
Yes.
One that, like, yeah, for us, like, has some kind of like Kanban vibes, like Vita Lacerda, like bigger Euro game stuff, and it just didn't quite get to the level we wanted it to. It's something where there's like these 2 expansions, and when we got this at Gen Con, it's a huge box. It's like, I'm not gonna get the expansions.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, maybe it needs those expansions. Maybe it needs like a little more going on, or a little bit of a different thing to change it up. Not sure. Didn't hate it at all, but we played it a couple times. I'm kind of like, yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So yeah, that was
It's
a little
kind
bit
of not great for a
disappointment.
giant Euro like this, which tend to have long,
You want to have more legs than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the stuff you're doing is cool. It's really cool.
You had to play Parade for the first time.
Yeah, man. Parade, we played this at Gen Con with Linnea and Aaron and co. And yeah, this is one where you basically don't want cards unless you get the most of a suit of cards.
You want to shoot the moon or nothing.
Yeah, shoot the moon or nothing. And you're playing these cards, and then they have to take stuff in this card line. It's a very interesting game. It's been around for a while, and this is like the Alice in Wonderland themed one. And so very cool game. Would like to get it.
Very cool. You really like Park Life.
I did. This is a trick-taking game where you are trying to play the lowest card to be able to collect that card and have it count towards scoring. And I specifically like playing this 2-player because it's trick-taking, but in a higher player count game, you don't actually have to match suit ever. But in a 2-player cooperative game version, you do. So it's actually more proper trick-taking, and you both have to get to 45 points. So you need to kind of balance who's winning and losing and stuff. It's very difficult to do, but I really like it. Everything's kind of this cozy day, and the suits are weather and stuff. And I'm probably gonna do like a video talking about this game because this was like the most unexpected gem that I've played in a long time. Where I'm like, I like this so much, and did not. If Jeff and Jimmy hadn't mentioned it as like an anticipated game, I would have never seen this game ever. And I'm like, man, I'm actually really glad this is in my life. Like, it's a dope game.
Totally. Past Civilization?
It's like a Civ Builder themed game, unfortunately with AI art, which
all AI art,
you know,
sucks.
It was just a bummer. I'm like, just do real art. These are real people.
Is trash.
You could just do art on Albert Einstein because you could just look at a picture and draw that picture. Anyway, so that was a bummer, but it is a fun game where you're placing out these tiles, and some of them are going to produce resources if they're on the left side of your board. Some will produce like going up these tracks, and you're doing like getting the world wonders, a lot of Civ stuff. It's neat, but it's just like, oh, I'll never buy and own this game because like I don't want to support AI projects.
Indeed. You played Pax Mirror finally.
I did. Didn't really know what's going on. I want to play it IRL because I think I could get into it. But again, I've been trying to explore war games and stuff, and I could play with Shay. I want to play it again, but I don't know what I'm doing at all.
You played a couple times.
So I need to play it for real. I've been playing on
Perch.
Perch, little kind of area control influence.
With these really cool like stackable birds where you have different birds of your color, and you'll kind of drawing them out of a bag, so you're not always getting birds of your color, but you have to play all your birds on your turns, and you're putting birds at different locations, and whoever has the most birds there controls that location. They might give you points, they might give you like kind of like companions so that you can help control. They do a whole bunch of different stuff. Each location kind of does different things. Sometimes the scoring for these tiles will be like second place is the one that gets the most points. So there's tons of manipulation around that kind of stuff. I thought it was really, really fun. Kind of surprised, like when I was reading the rule book, I was like, oh, this seems fine. And I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Yeah. Look at this photograph.
Photograph. You'd played Wind the Film before. And then we were sent Photograph from Blackboard Game who showed you Wind the Film, or did you play Photograph?
We played Wind the Film.
Wind the Film.
Yes.
Photograph is the same exact game. It just has a new, because somebody's going to make a new thing. Anyway, this is such an interesting, tough.
This game is so hard.
Game where you are manipulating your hand, you have to wind the film, you're moving cards around and doing all this stuff, and you need to make for each of the suits sequences, but as you play these cards up higher and higher, you can never go back. So you're trying to invest in suits. It is so interesting, and the way you draft what cards and what that makes you do to your hand is I can't even hardly describe it, but it's very cool, and I want to play this more, and I want to show this to Karen and stuff, because I'm like, man, this broke my brain.
Yeah.
For just being
it's so
kind of ultimately a small card game. It's very
really
cool.
enjoy it, but it's
very
so
cool.
hard.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Pirates of Maracaibo. I never need to play Maracaibo again.
Same.
Maracaibo is great. Pirates of Maracaibo is everything like Maracaibo.
Just quicker.
And takes out the stuff I don't like about it.
So Board Game Arena I played it yesterday with Linnea, and I'm just great, fantastic.
You're just kind of moving your boat amongst these cards, getting these cards. You still have that kind of engine building part of Maracaibo. It's just really, really fun. I really like the look of it. It's got a great look. You're kind of like pirates now. It's outstanding. I will never play Maracaibo again. Probably.
Yeah, it does all the things in just a quicker, easier thing. Pixies is a really fun, silly little game with this cool art, and you're trying to build a little 9-card tableau over 3 rounds. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to play it. The Plum Island Horror. We played this. I sold it a while back.
And we played it at Halloween.
At our Halloween stream. This is a GMT game, kind of a MOBA style game where you have these zombies coming in from the top of the Plum Island, and they're just moving down, and you are each a faction. Mike was the
city government. I was the mayor,
and I was the
stuff.
athletic club. Each faction has their own kind of units
and
stuff
abilities.
They all do different stuff, and you're basically trying to evacuate people off the island. I really, really like this game. I think it's super fun. It's super pulpy. All the events and stuff that are happening are super pulpy. It's just really, really kind of silly theme, but a tough game, and got some good GMT stuff in there. But I really like this game. I'm starting to get more into the kind of weirder side of GMT. We just got Leaping Lemmings I really want to try. I'm getting into that kind. Who someday I'll maybe play war games. But
oh yeah, baby, we got them. Play Pray Another Day. I don't really remember it much. We played it. It's a very quick game where you're sort of kind of like the Libertalia thing. We're trying to time up when you play certain cards, and we all have access to the same cards. But it was neat. It was cool. And it's got just weird art.
It sure does. I played Primal.
Again, another
something Rise of the Awakening or something.
The Awakening.
Primal the Awakening.
One of the more unexpected. It's very kind of Monster Hunter world. You're fighting a big baddie, and you're just boss battling. And I really enjoy this game because you're ultimately playing cards and sequencing your cards. So I feel like it's better than just do this thing and roll some dice and stuff happens. I really like this game a lot, and you can also level up your character and do a campaign. This is one do we have time for campaign games? Not really, but man, if I could find the time to get into one, I would like to explore this one.
Yeah, it really talks.
Legitimately.
Yeah, it's very, very
so
fun.
Unexpectedly great.
Really liked it a lot.
I played Pyramido Forgotten Treasures. It's a new version.
Oh, it's a new version.
It's a standalone, and you're doing the same thing where you're building a pyramid of these tiles, but there's also these gems you can collect, which then kind of give you the ability to pump up the value of these things. So yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed Pyramido, and this really have a little bit more going on.
Yeah, I like Pyramido a lot, so that's great. I didn't know it was a standalone.
Played Quarto. This is a game where you're trying to get 4 things in a row, but we don't have our own pieces. And you're trying to either get 4 things of the same color, the same height, the same shape, or hollow or solid, and it becomes so difficult to not set up your opponent.
You're right.
And you are giving your opponent the piece that they are going to play on their turn. And so every time you lose, you handed them your own loss, which is fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Z Garcia back in the day was talking about that. He really likes that. It's you always are giving your opponent the win. He's it's really tough. It's
literally, I'm dang.
Very interesting. Raj of the Ganges, Cards and Karma. This is a card version of Raj of the Ganges, which we did not know existed until we were at somewhere.
We were at BGG Con,
and we
then
saw it.
Never got a chance to play it. And then the publisher says, like, hey, I know you're fans of Raja's. Do you want the card game? We're like, yes, please. Like when did this happen?
They weren't at BGG Con. Just like literally like the next week, randomly.
Came out in Essen.
Yeah, and they were like, hey, we know you guys like Raja's the Ganges, the big game and the dice game. We just came with a new one. Do you want it? We were like, hell yeah, we want it. And so they sent it to us, which was very nice. And it was cool. It's still kind of Raja's the Ganges, but now with like cards, and you're like getting cards from the kind of this central depot. I would probably say
it's more like actual Rajas than the dice game.
Yes, I would say so. But it was cool. I like Raja's the Ganges. I really like the dice game. This one is cool. It's probably my least favorite of the three as of right now, but like it's still Raja's the Ganges, which is great.
Yeah, I would absolutely play it again.
I liked it.
I played Rallyman Dirt. I've also played Rallyman. I played both on BGA, one early COVID, and I just fundamentally don't understand what I'm doing.
Dirt.
It's just a racing game, but I'm like, there's so many other racing games I'd rather play. I guess so, man. I would just rather play Heat.
Rebel Princesses.
Rebel Princess is a fantastic theme where you're different princesses and your family and everyone's trying to marry you off. And you don't want to get married to some random prince. You're like, no, I'll live my own life, thank you very please. And so the suit you don't want is the princes, essentially, the hearts and stuff. And so you're like just trying to dodge these dudes. And I'm like, this is such a great theme. And they're all like, they're Snow White and Cinderella. They're all the famous princesses. They each have like a little ability. It's such a fun, funny trick-taking game.
I still haven't played this yet. I really want to.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's just, I love the theme so much. Yeah. I think it's so fantastic. They're like, get this dude away from me right now. Yeah. This guy sucks.
It's fair. Played Rebirth. Nah, it was fine. It was fine.
You know, sometimes Knizia makes games where make you go,
here's it. Knizia makes a lot of stinkers because he just makes so many games.
Yeah.
This game was fine. It was fine. I don't know how to describe it. We played it, and I don't know. I just
you put it on the board. You're sort of scoring points always, but it's just I don't know.
You're trying to make like groups of your stuff, you know, together. You're trying to like do a little bit of area
control
around the
castles.
I don't know. It was. I thought it was. There's a lot of people who really, really like love this game, and I'm just like, we thought it was like
we're the biggest Knizia people.
Yes, Bobby and Chad's like, I love Rebirth. I don't know. I thought this game was okay at best. I don't know. For us, it did not.
I think these types of games get really tactical when people get into them, which is totally cool. But I just don't think it's our kind of game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Straight up.
I thought it was fine.
I don't think it's the game's fault.
Reef Project, this is a good game, actually, which is nice. Love talking about good games. Unlike Reef Project is great. This is another game by Board and Dice. It was kind of like their mid-year release. Yep. And this is a game where you are, they had a banger year. You're trying to restore reefs because reef destruction is a real thing, and you are out there trying to restore them, and it's kind of like based on some reality of things that they're actually trying to do out there. But it's cool. You're like bouncing around these islands, putting out these reef balls, which help restore reefs and stuff like that. And you're doing these actions there. You're getting these cards. You can kind of beef up your boat and get these other different actions. It's really, really fun. We played it for Board and Dice when it first came out. Then we played it again at Gen Con with our good friend Niall Bari. We kind of was like, oh yeah, that's right. This game is really, really good. I like Reef Project a lot.
Agreed. Yeah. Super awesome.
Fun.
Great
game. It's fun.
Fantastic.
Revenant.
Played Revenant.
I kind of want to wait until the game is finished to do this one because I feel like they're still changing stuff. I mean, heck, they were changing stuff even when we were playing it.
Yeah, there's definitely, this is a game that we played a prototype of, and they're on their way, but they were tinkering as we were playing it and did our playthrough for it, and it's just one that like,
it needs some work.
I think it'll get there, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it's not a finished game either, so that can't be its final review. TBD on this one.
Yeah,
TBD.
But it's cool. Great art, you know, good cover.
Yeah. I played Reviving Kathmandu. This is from a designing couple that like travel and stuff and then make games based on their travel. We'll actually be covering an upcoming game for them soon. And this is an interesting game where you're drafting these elements and stuff by kind of trying to control the rows and columns. If I have the most in this row, I get the things from there. And it's about their travels in Nepal and stuff, which is just a really cool, again, design group. Very kind of like light game. A little bit take thatty with the tactical nature where you're placing stuff and gaining control. It's cool.
Yeah. Play Rivers of Gold. This one's really good. I like Rivers of Gold a lot.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, this again, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be bad, but like really liked it quite a bit. I want to explore it more.
Yeah.
This is a game where you're moving down the River of Gold. It's kind of like, people say it's Castles of Burgundy in that kind of way where it's like you're rolling dice. That's kind of dictate where you can do stuff, kind of what you can do to some degree.
But you can choose like one of 3 actions to do with that value of die, and the value will kind of control where you go, who you talk to.
It's really good. Great production. It's gorgeous. It's really, really cool.
Pretty
Although
breezy.
this originally was supposed to be trucker themed, which I wish they had kept the theme. I understand this one's probably more generally appealing, but I still think a trucker game kind of sounds really fun. Yeah, River Gold's good.
I've never had a game like that. So.
Good. River Valley Glassworks.
It is cute and fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice light game, but I enjoy it, and I'm curious about the expansion stuff that came with the Kickstarter because, but I'll say I really dig it as a filler. I really dig it a lot.
That's my thoughts too, basically. Robo Trick. We've tried this game a couple times recently. Really like this game. This is a very interesting, pretty high-level trick-taking game where you have to play with 3 players because it is always a 4-player game, but the 4th is like an AI robot.
A robot.
That's their kind of moves. You're going to know what they're going to do, and you're basically trying to win tricks with high values for your first 3, because any tricks after that you win are going to be negative points. The robot themselves can win tricks, and you can get negative points that way. It's really, really fun. Again, kind of hard to play because you need 3 players. You can't play it anywhere else. But
really
if you want to play a really interesting trick-taking game, check out Robo Tricks. It's really, really good.
Agreed.
Rock hard.
1977. One of the more fun-themed game experiences I've ever had. This is a game where you are trying to be a rock star. You're living a rock star life, and there's all these event cards and stuff. Jackie Fox, who was a rock star in the 70s and knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
Put all these events and different things in there that are like, I had one where I went back home with a lady, and then she like robbed me and stuff. And I was like, dude, this is so funny. And then it affects game stuff in the game, but you are trying to increase your skills and your fame and all that jazz. To get those fame points and stuff. Super fun, and the theme like really carries it in a great way. That I had a ball. I was cracking up during that game.
Yeah, it was good.
So fun.
We just streamed it recently. Go check that out. Very fun. Played Roland 1. We were given this game right when we were leaving Gen Con, and then we played it at the airport.
Very kind
this is a game where one person is going to make like a little golf course, and then you're going to be rolling dice. The dice are your various clubs, and they are good at certain
They're different,
things.
like a D4 and a D12. Like they're different.
And they kind of have different attributes to them. It was fun. It was a cute little game. Again, a little filler. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was cool. I enjoyed it, and it's like one I'd probably travel with and stuff like that. It was a cute little game. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's like, hey, I made this game. I like you guys. Boom. It just gave it to us. We're like, oh, thanks. And it was like that was it. And so we're like, hey,
well done on your game.
Thank you for that.
I played World's Opposite, Roll and Write, where you're kind of building your way up the board, trying to fill it in, but as you go above, you have to have numbers that are equal to or higher than the stuff below. So you're trying to keep your numbers as low as possible, but of course it's going to become more and more difficult, but you can combine dice to get higher values. So it's just kind of like efficiency puzzle. But it was fun. Cool.
Played Robo Robin. This is a simple little card game, another in that kind of line of just like great card games that just keep on coming out. They just seemingly keep making more of them. This one is great. Little set collection game. It's outstanding. Play it.
So good. Play Leroy de Rebalance, and I didn't even know what was going on, and none of us really understood, but you're trying to like kill the king or something. Yeah, it's fine.
Classic,
A little micro game.
Rumble Nation.
This is like a little area control game where based on your dice rolls, you'll be able to put units out into things that match your dice rolls. It's pretty fun. It's kind
tricky. It's Trixie Hobbits because it's like all the different areas are labeled 1 through 12, and they will activate in that order. And then when you win, you get to kind of spread out to like another one. So it's all about like positioning yourself to win certain ones, and then move into the higher value ones, and then hopefully win those ones. It's really Trixie Hobbits.
And trying to think of like the order that stuff is going to. It's like the whole game is you setting up for the end game where it all gets carried out, and it's really hard to kind of wrap your brain around that. But it's ultimately a very quick, light game.
Yeah, quick game. It's very interesting though.
Yeah.
We're in the S's, y'all. We're doing pretty good.
We're doing real good.
2.5 hours on the S's. That is, we're doing a lot faster than we did last time. Salt and Sea is fine. It's
too much, right?
It's too long, is what it is. I think Salt and Sea, it's like a 2-hour game. It says 2 hours on the box, and we're like, really?
Because it's in that kind of White Castle smaller box. Like, really? And like, oh no, they are serious about that.
Salt
it's
and Sea,
long.
I enjoy you're doing. There's like some stock market stuff. You're like doing kind of like lithium mining, basically.
Yeah.
And it's cool. What you're doing is great, but it's too long. It's also one of those things, if you get behind early, Maybe if you're really good at the game, you can catch up. But like if you get behind early, like cool, you're going to spend a 2-hour game where you know you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough for that. But I do want to try it again. But I've played it a couple times now, and I enjoy it. But I think it's fine. But it could be better.
Sure.
The same game.
Same game.
Man, talk about 0 to 100 in terms of liking this one.
We were playing this at BGG Spring, and we were playing it incorrectly. Like
Shouts out to Aldi.
we were all like a little bit like, is this the rule? Is that the rule? Is this the rule? And we were not playing it well, and it was ruining the game.
No one
and
liked
then
it.
Aldi, the owner of Board Game Geek, Scott, came over later in the con. It was
Hey, have you heard about this game?
And we're like, oh, we played this on the first day and it was awful. And he's like, no, it's really great. And so then he took us through the game. We played it correctly. And then it was awesome.
Yeah, it was super fun.
I don't even remember what the hell you're doing.
Basically, like if you're like the clue giver, you're trying to point people to, you basically want the thing that you actually want them to uncover to be last, but they're
That's
all like
right.
weird signifiers.
So you have to write a clue that basically say, well, it's not this because it's not, and they'll be like, is long, is important to the world, like all these different things, and you have to kind of give a clue that's going
So
to
if it's
make
like,
it say, like it's not
important to
that.
the world, you're like, I don't know.
A pen? You're like,
Yeah,
that's
you're
pretty
like
important.
this
Like,
mouse, and you're like, well, that's probably not very important in the world. We can safely turn over that one because we know that's not it.
Yeah, and then I think you have to play like an object or write down an object specifically.
It was very fun.
Yeah, and it was very, really, really good. So Wolfgang Warsch did like Wavelength in the Mind and stuff. It was really cool once you play it correctly.
Played it in Korea at the very beginning of the year when this came out. The Pride of Mansa-Musa, really fun. I've been really wanting to get. We should do a live stream of this soon. We actually, funny thing is, we actually filmed a playthrough of this at the beginning of the year. Yeah, because we didn't have a time to come out. Our schedule was too busy, and we never actually ended up filming the overview for it. So it's just like sat on our computers for like a year now. And at this point, it's like at the old studio and all this stuff. And so like, it's just not going to happen. But we actually actively filmed a playthrough of this. We should do a live stream because I really like this one.
It's really
it's kind of set in the Merv world. It's our world, of course, but the same kind of look to it, but way bigger and heavier. You're building up this library in the university.
Big
it's
time
super cool.
Shared infrastructure because we're all at the same school, and the knowledge that's being gained, everyone benefits from.
Yeah,
really cool game.
Really cool. Really, really cool game. Santa's Workshop.
Oh man, this is another one.
We don't really like Elf Creek games.
No, there's been more disappointments than not.
Yeah.
And usually what happens with Santa's Workshop is that the theme is kind of all you got.
Just S tier.
Great theme. Love the idea of like prepping for Christmas. So dope. So dope. And then the gameplay is just down here where you're like, it's not that interesting, or it's not that, there's not much to munch on, there's not long legs, like you can play this. And it doesn't live up to the theme, which is so cool. Merchant's Dark Road for us was the same thing. I know there's people that love these games, which is totally great.
Yeah, we just
Merchant's Dark Road was the biggest disappointment I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Where I was like, man, the theme and the look of the board is so cool, and man, this sucks.
Yeah.
And they're just that they're fine, you know, and
we kind of felt that way about every Elf Creek game with the exception of Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz is the only one that we actually like, and this one, unfortunately, afterwards we're kind of like, that was fine, it was fun, but like, I want it to be better, which is a bummer.
Especially because it's like a Christmas themed game, which is awesome, and it's like, it's just that it's fine.
Yeah, Honey Buzz is the only one we actively, I think, enjoy.
I played Santorini for the first time in a very long time, that's why I put it here.
It's so good.
It's still so good, man.
It's low-key, the base game is, I mean, you can teach it in 2 seconds. It's so simple. Yeah. And then you add in the gods, cool game, and it just makes it cool.
Abstract, love it.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Search for UAPs. I played this. We played a couple different times. UAPs. Search for UAPs. We got this at Gen Con. Played it that night, which is a bad idea.
And then you played it a few times since.
Yeah, I played it with like Jamie because Jamie and I share a love of deduction games. And then I've been playing it solo, and kind of what I thought of was going to be, ended up being true, where I was like, I think the Search for Lost Species is going to be my favorite game if I'm playing it competitively. But if I'm playing it solo, I think I like this one the most. And I think that's going to be correct. This, I feel, is a pretty easy solo, but it's a deduction game where you're trying to find the unidentified anomalous phenomena. But it's in that Search for Planet X, Search for Lost Species, shares a lot of DNA with those. I love all these games. They're in my top 10, I think, when I did my last top 10. And I think they're going to stay there because I like them so freaking much.
They're awesome.
I've been soloing a lot at home, and every single time I'm like, I should just play one of the Search for games. I'm like, no, I'll play something else. Every single time I'm like, I should just play one of these.
If that's what you want to play, you know?
Play Seas of Strife.
Interesting trick taker with these kind of different number ranges and stuff. And yeah, it was like a tricky trick taker.
And Linnea, I get that confused all the time.
I mean, it's fun to make the joke, right?
Best game of the year?
Best game of the year. That's all you need to know. It's about space exploration. Watch our playthrough. SETI is amazing.
I like space stuff. But here's the thing. I like space stuff.
But like this, like real.
I mean,
there's aliens in this.
Human
but you know
space stuff. Yeah, when you're like searching space. I'm actually not
like Star Trek.
Not as in like those kinds of themes. Yeah, but it's funny. I don't like Star Trek.
Played Shadow Moon Syndicates from Arcus Games. We played this with Jimmy. This is
a game where you can be tricksy hobbits.
You can, yeah. It's really interesting. Like you are ultimately putting out influence into these different sectors to try to pull these heists, but there are different decks of cards you'll play with from game to game that everyone makes use of, and some of them are more aggressive, some are random and chaotic and stuff, and so it creates this game flavor. But yeah, you can do some wild stuff in it and really, kind of like manipulate the board state.
The more you play it, you're kind of like, oh, I kind of see how you can start manipulating stuff in this.
Yeah, which
the first time we played it, I was just like, I don't get it, and then we were like, oh, now I see how you can start working with this.
Then we got to play it a couple times.
But it's made by 3 Minute Board Games, who, if you don't know that YouTube channel, go check them out. But the art and the world of this one is like S-tier good. It's so cool.
Pulling heists and whatnot.
Yeah.
Played Shifting Stones. I actually really like this game a lot. I played this with Linnea. Yeah, you were either shifting and moving things or flipping stones over to kind of complete these cards on contract cards, basically make the thing look like this, blue with the red and stuff. It's a dope game. Really dope game. Yep.
Indeed.
Speakeasy.
We still have it.
It's right there. Why are we not playing it right now? It's right there.
Speakeasy, I think, is my favorite Lacerda. Speakeasy is so freaking good. Woo! It's just like, this is a game, Vito Lacerda game, Big Eagle Griffin game, Honker. We did a big stream for it. You can go watch it. This game is so good, man. It's like, I feel like one of the easier Lacerda games to get into because a lot of stuff you're doing just makes sense.
Yeah.
You're running Speakeasy, you're running Hooch around Chicago and stuff. It's got such a cool look. I mean, this cover is just, this game was so much fun. I loved this game.
It's a dope game. Yeah, the worker placement's fairly straightforward for a big game like this. Like, everything kind of makes sense. Yeah. It's very well laid out. Graphic design, Tool is at the top, absolutely top of the game. Across the board, we love Ian's art, and then the graphic design. There's not many people that do both of those things.
Yes.
And especially do them both so well.
Yeah, Tool's the GOAT.
A master.
I played Spirit Island this year. Yeah. I had played it before in the past, but it had been a very long time. And I played it again, and I actually took home Horizons of Spirit Islands a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
And I think I'm going to start trying to solo Spirit Island.
It's just Spirit Island, in all ways. I just think they're slightly easier spirits.
Our friend Tara, who's come up a couple times, loves Spirit Island, and so for a couple cons, we've been trying to play it, and we finally got it played, and it is very, very fun. I do want to play it more, it's very good. This game is a lifestyle game for a lot of people. It's as popular as it is for a reason. It's very, very good.
It's awesome, man. Played Splitter, a little themeless roll and write, where you're trying to place these numbers, but if you play, the two dice are a 3 and a 5, and I go into this spot, the mirror, the other die will go into the matching spot, and you're trying to make groups of like 3 3s, 4 4s to get points and stuff. It's tricky because you have to play both sides simultaneously in this mirror of each other.
Interesting. I played the Stardew Valley board game. I played this with Jeff and Jamie in Nova Scotia. They really love this game. This game is way too hard. It's way too hard. It's really fun, especially like Stardew Valley, because you're doing Stardew Valley stuff. Right. You can like fish, you can mine, you can grow crops, all kind of stuff, but it's really hard, especially at lower player counts. It's like basically impossible, which is kind of weird considering the Stardew Valley is such a cozy game. It's kind of odd to me they made such a hard board game.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if...
But it is fun, especially if you like Stardew Valley, and I'm a massive Stardew Valley fan. And it's good, but I don't know how much I would play it because of the fact that it's just too damn hard.
And Stardew Valley exists,
Yeah, and Stardew Valley.
Star Wars Bounty Hunters is awful.
God, this game is bad.
We don't like to trash stuff because someone worked very hard on this game, right?
Yes, of course. But it's one of the reasons why we're not overly negative, because it is someone's
like real
baby,
people make these things. But this game is not good.
Massively disliked this game.
It's just, it was great for a laugh. I don't even remember what you're doing. It's so random and like...
You're just hunting, you're just hoping
you're
you
just
get the
card
cards
hunting. You're just purely bounty hunting, but the bounty is the cards. And I guess that's thematic in its way, but it's just so much less like, I just need to get this one card and then I can do the thing. But it made for... The thing that's funny is that this broke Jeff from Frosted Meeple. It broke him. And he was
fun to watch.
Wild. The rest of the night, he was just out of his gourd. and giggly and stuff. And so I was so happy we played it because it broke him in the best possible way, and it was very entertaining. But it's not good. I wouldn't recommend playing it. Other people have liked it though, and I hope you do
some people really like it. We were just like,
it was
man, we really disliked it.
Star Wars Unlimited.
I still haven't played yet.
I liked it, man.
I know. We have a little starter deck.
The other CCG, I did get the starter thing. That's fine. We don't need to get into collecting.
No,
but it's really fun, man. It was dope. It's in that kind of Star Wars Rebellion way where the cards and the characters and the items are all familiar, but you can mix and match them in different ways. Like, another thing I always talk about when I talk about this game is I gave C-3PO Luke's lightsaber, and I was like, that is hilarious to think about, like, in world, what's going on. Where he's just like, oh, dear, I see him just beheading people.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is very fun.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this game is actually a solid game, not just the collectible card aspect of it.
Yeah.
Siege Prestige. This is a trick-taking Clue kind of game. I want it so
this is one I want to play.
I don't think it'll ever be over here. I don't think I'll ever see it again.
Anyone across the pond, if you can find this game,
if you see
we will
in a
pay
store,
for shipping for it.
If you see us in a store, please buy it and then reach out to us. We will
email
pay
us at
for the game,
thebrothersgame.com.
for the shipping. It is a game where you're playing tricks, and only one person knows the murderer, the weapon. And stuff like that, and that's going to determine kind of the trump suits. So the rest of us are playing a card, we each play a trick, and then we all look to the person like, who won the trick? They're like, Joey did over there. And you're like, okay,
why did Joey win?
They had a low number, but they still won, so that can't be the reason they won. They had this character, so maybe that's what, but maybe the weapon they're holding. It's so awesome, and then you're trying to basically make guesses like, is it this? Is it this? And the earlier in the round that you make a correct guess, the better for you. But if you win no, it's competitive.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
As you win tricks, you also get points for that. And if you're the person who knows stuff, you're also playing tricks, and the longer it goes where not everyone has guessed it, the more points you get. So you're kind of trying to play tricks that don't lead to the answer. It's so awesome, dude. It is so dope. It is so dope. And I'm like, why? Where will it ever appear over here?
Why can I not stitch for stitch? Why can't I stitch for stitch?
Me too. It's so cool. It's so fun. And again, the first round we played, everyone was just like, what is happening? And then everyone was like, I see how I can do this to make I can figure some stuff out. It's so awesome, dude.
I want to play it so badly. They play Stone Spine Architects.
Stone Spine Architects is from Thunderworks Games, and it is kind of cartographers-ish, but you are playing these cards out to make your dungeon, and you're basically going to have all these goals and stuff, to have like this many gelatinous cubes, and to have this layout, and have these different elements. You're just trying to put down your stuff so that you have all the right elements and all the right spaces. It's really fun. It's really solid, nice, light, quick kind of game where you're making this devious dungeon to kind of score as many points as possible. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I heard it was really fun. Good. We played Storm Raiders. This was one of the first games we played of 2024. It was very early on in January. This game was cool. It was an interesting game where you are going out into the storm, kind of picking up like scrap and stuff like that, and kind of trying to fulfill contracts.
Weird vehicles.
Yeah, you're moving around with these 3 vehicles. You will then mod those vehicles and upgrade them. It was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. I don't know how much legs this game had. It didn't feel like it had the most. Yeah. But we played it a couple times. And each time we played it, we were like, I'm able to do more this time. So I think it's one of those games where it's like, as you learn how to work the system, you can kind of do more and more and more. So I do want to play this game more because it's a cool world. And it was fun. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of Arcus Games' motto is like games that are easy to get into, but then there's like surprising depth.
Because like Dreadful Meadows has tons of depth, and it doesn't really seem like that from the outset.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Streets. I played Streets. I played this on Board Game Arenas by the same person who made like Villagers. And Streets is cool. It's interesting. You're placing out these cards that are different buildings and are going to produce different resources. Then when you cap off a street, any buildings in there, the owners will score their points for that and get money. So it's just an interesting, cool game that's like trickier than I thought it would be, and I'm also not very great at it, but it's very cool.
Sushi Go, speed and some for dim sum. They'll never stop making Sushi Go's. This one was fine. It
was honestly okay.
Yeah, you got a big squishy dim sum. You're still doing Sushi Go stuff.
You're getting these like little round tiles, these little plates, and you're filling out your menu, and it's the same kind of set collection stuff as
but it's cool.
Sushi Go.
And there's a big squishy dim sum, which is fun.
Which is very fun.
Big old dumpling. Played Tangram City. This is an Uwe Rosenberg game where you are building out city, basically there'll be a card drawn, and everyone has to put that piece somewhere in their
Everyone has
city.
the same set of tiles.
Yeah, and then you can basically, one side of your tile is going to be city, one side is like green space, basically. And you're basically trying to put it out and score points and stuff like that, and trying to make like groups of stuff. It's great. If you like those kind of like light, kind of like tile placement games, this is a good one. It's fun.
Agreed, yeah. Play 10, this is a big old roll and write from Ivy Studios. And you are basically going around and farming and exploring these mines and these woods, and you're sending stuff back on this cargo manifest. You're trying to fill it out with these little stamp pens. And it's something that I want to play the final game because, again, they were actively changing. What we played and presented for y'all was already way out of date.
Yes,
because they were actively making these big changes.
Yeah.
It's not the most balanced game in the world. It has some problems, but it's cool the things you're doing.
Yes.
So it's kind of Stardew Valley-ish and kind of cozy. And,
Yeah, you're
and
like
so
farming and stuff.
I hope it really comes together for the final product. Not sold on it yet,
Yes.
but we'll see.
It was fun, but yeah, I wanted, it's one of those games, when we're playing these games as prototypes, sometimes they need work, and a lot of times they are still actively being worked on.
Again, this is a game for this upcoming year, so we'll see.
Gonna play Termis. This is also one of those games where the first time we played it, we were both kind of like, and then the second time we played it, we were kind of like, oh, okay, I like this a lot more. You can kind of do more as you play it, but this is a game where you're kind of building out your own subway lines, putting down various destinations, which are gonna be like essentially worker places spots you can activate on top of the ones you can always activate. It was cool. I did enjoy it, but it was one that took us multiple plays to kind of get into it, but we did enjoy it more so as we played it.
Yeah, cool rondelle style for the action stuff. I like it.
It's cool.
Yep. Terraform Mars Dice game remains terrible. It's awful. I hate it so much. It's just so bad.
Really disliked it. We played in the prototype forum, and you played the final version. Really disliked
I played
it.
with Karen. I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, and I have not played it. Have not had any interest in playing it again. So
I think they did AR, which is
I think they did
even
too.
worse.
Yeah. So get wrecked.
Time You Killed Me.
I got to play this for the first time with our good friend Visher.
Very interesting abstract.
Very weird game. This is a game where you're kind of like you're kind of going through time, and there's stuff you can do in like previous times that'll affect the later times, and you're basically trying to eliminate the other person's pieces. You can do that by like pushing them into walls and stuff, and all these kind of things. But again, there's certain things where like there's like a tree card or whatever, and you can like plant a tree in the past, which means in the future a tree is there now because it's
like
grown.
A seed and it's grown. Yeah.
And so it's like this weird thing, and you're jumping between times. It broke my brain, but it was very cool.
It's a really neat game.
Yeah, it's a very. I'm not super into abstract games like this, but this one was very interesting.
And there's all these different like scenarios and stuff.
Totally.
So like in that box, there's a lot to explore. It's something that, like if it was on sale or something somewhere someday, I think I would pick it up because like, it's just really neat for an abstract in the way you're bouncing around between timelines. Essentially,
it's very weird, but it's cool. Things in Rings.
Fantastic clue-giving game where there's a knower and you're putting the rings each have rules, and basically the players are trying to figure out the rules of the rings by playing these objects and seeing like, does this match this ring? And there's also the interconnected rings. Super great game.
Yeah, it's good.
Love it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Play Tikal. Let it play for a second. Play Tikal. Then play Tikal Legend.
Okay, so you play the original too, yeah.
I did play the original on Board Game Arena. Tikal Legend, we have a playthrough of ads.
Tiny game.
Action card is physically humongous.
It's so enormous.
So huge. But you're basically putting out these explorers on these different parts of the board and exploring and digging out these temples, getting these treasures for kind of a set collection thing. Tikal Legend adds these like action cards that you can draft. Basically adds a lot more to the game, and then you can do an action point thing where you're moving around on the board and doing stuff, and that's what Tikal is. So Tikal Legend adds like new ways to explore the board and a lot of things, which I thought were like great.
They were all like really fun.
Nice changes for the modern times. Yeah. Based off of Tikal, which is like a great kind of.
I haven't played Tikal Basic, but Tikal Basic is still in Tikal Legends, and I liked all the other stuff in Tikal Legends. I'm like, cool, I'll just play Tikal Legends because I really enjoyed it.
Really liked it a lot.
Yeah, really, really good. Tinder Blocks, this is a little game where you're little stacking little pieces. That's basically it. It's fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good little game.
Tranquility, amazing, let it run. Tranquility Ascent's even better.
Okay.
Tranquility Ascent is awesome. Really? Now you're making a mountain instead of like building out this little grid of cards, and there's like color rules, and you have to place things and build out the pyramid before you run out of time. Tranquility Ascent was dope. I like this a lot.
I really want to play.
A lot
solo some of that?
You can solo it. It's cooperative. So good. Both are good, but this one is killer.
Yeah, interesting, cool. Play Tricks and Snipers. This is like one of Jeff's favorite
Weird trick-taking game.
Very weird trick-taking game where you're trick-taking and then basically whoever is winning the trick, so whatever the highest card, if you play a card where your card and the highest card equal 13, you then snipe that trick from them.
Yes.
It's very weird. So it's this weird thing where you think you're winning, but then you don't win. It's very odd. It's a very fun trick-taking game.
Very quick, too.
I don't know how easy it is to find, but it's very odd. It's cool. It's really weird.
Interesting.
But I like it.
Played Turnips, like a little bit of a BS.
Yeah,
a little
it's BS game. Yeah.
Game where you're putting down cards saying, what you have, and people can either call BS or they can say, I believe that's what you have.
Yeah.
And you're trying to play these cards and stuff out to kind of have the most bountiful turnip harvest. Really fun, like group dependent game where if you can, like we were just playing
Silly Willy,
silly, where we were accusing each other, and literally in the game, no one ever lied, and we were like, I don't believe you when you flip it over.
Yeah.
And like I think bringing that chaos to this game is what will make it shine.
Yeah, it's good, fun,
and turnips are fun.
You played TI4 this year.
I played it on January 1st of 2024. It was epic. It was cool. I get why it's so popular. I do not need to play it that often. I will play it again in my life. I know this.
Right.
It's a big epic time, creates epic stories, so I completely understand why so many people love this game so much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fair. Valley of Eternity, fantastic game.
I want to play it.
Tableau builder, kind of race to whatever points it is. It's got some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I want to show you.
I
It's got
really
this
wanna
cool,
play it.
interesting drafting system and money system.
Yeah, really want to play it. We played this game.
We played this at Gen Con.
That's
We
right.
played this, I think, with Kane, Klenko, and
we did play
Linnea,
Kane,
and everybody. And I think
What
all of us
the
are
heck
sort
are
of
you
like, how does this work? And I don't remember now. So
Me
I
neither.
don't know. It was cool.
The company was great.
We were all like confused. That's all I remember.
Played Vegas Showdown with Jeff late at night
That's
at one of
right.
BGG cons. Yeah, Jeff has been wanting to play Vegas Showdown for a long time, so we got it at BGG con.
We had played it once a long time ago.
Played it again and really, really enjoyed this play, and Jeff particularly freaking loved
awesome.
it. It's fun. You're building out a little casino hotel. And there's a bunch of cool bidding where you can outbid people and you have to move your thing. It's good. I liked it a lot. I think they're coming out with a new version of it. I don't know, but it's good.
Someday they'll get rid of that folding paper. Vegetable stock is like the quickest game where you're drafting out vegetables, and whatever card is left over, the values of those vegetables on that card will increase, but the market can bust. Where it gets to the top and goes down to the bottom. So you want to make sure that the cards you're holding are the valuable cards. It's like a 5-minute game. You can play multiple rounds. It's honestly great, though.
All right, cool. I want to try it.
Game.
Yeah. We played Veiled Fate. I'll tell you, talk about one of the biggest surprises of our entire life.
Honestly,
both of us were like,
great game.
gonna hate this game. Really liked it.
Yeah.
Really, is the expansion here or is it?
No, but we did play the expansion.
We did play the expansion, so we played actually we've only ever played the expansion, but yeah, we got to play this in a big old group that Ivy Studios hired us and a bunch of other content creators in LA for, and then we actually did a 2-player playthrough of it on our channel.
Which also is really fun.
And both were really, really fun. We heard that this game is really great at 2, and we're always like, there's absolutely no way this is fun at 2. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And so, I was shocked at how much I liked Veiled Fate. It was very interesting. I think it's kind of misrepresented where it seems like a big social deduction game, but it is not that.
It's not.
It's a deduction
It's
game.
nice if you can hide and stuff, but it's not like, oh, I found out you're blue, so I win. It's like, no. Like,
and I think it's marketed incorrectly personally, because it made me never want to try it.
Yeah.
I really like Video Game Champion.
Me too.
We played this game with Bree, who works for Arcade Wonders, who makes this game, and Jeff and Jamie before dinner one night at BGCon, and it was great. This is a game where you're trying to collect and play video games. It's got this cool action selection system.
Is just play the video games.
Yeah, you're like begging for money for your parents and buying these games, trying to complete them.
Getting IOUs.
It's really, really fun. I really like this game a lot. I was, when she was explaining it, I was like, oh, this seems cool. It was very fun.
The cool action selection system, and the theming is just like, it's the childhood Wii experience. You played Viking Seesaw.
It's very fun.
Is that the one where you put stuff on the thing and you're trying not to tip it over?
You're basically trying to put stuff on this seesaw, and if it tips and stuff falls off. You basically have to collect those.
That's
but
great.
they're all different weights and sizes. Some are like small but really heavy. So you're trying to put them, and it's very silly. It's just a little abstract, a little dexterity game, but it's very fun.
Yeah,
I liked
looks
it a lot.
so fun. Played Rawhide.
This game was all right.
Yeah.
It was fine. We did a playthrough of it.
We do a lot of these where it's sort of a campaign, you level up your characters,
Fantasy
go
campaign.
do fights against a boss, and this was the same.
But it had a really big player board that was like 3D and plastic that was actually, in my opinion, made the game harder to play.
I'm sure that they will workshop that.
Yeah, we ran into these people at BGCon, and I think they are still workshopping some things, so I'm curious to see where this
Awesome
goes.
people.
As of right now, we didn't love the game.
Not our kind of game, though.
Yeah, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I played Wacky Races.
We're to the W's. I want to announce that.
We are the W's. Look at us. Look at us
We're
go.
going to be
We're
right
almost
about on time.
we're going to be a little.
We're going to be very close, but not okay. Go ahead. You didn't like
Wacky
this.
Races. I really didn't like this game.
Nick doesn't like this, nor does he like Jeff and Jamie. Someone clip that and send it to them.
I kind of feel bad because Jeff and Jamie really loved this game, and then we played it, and I really disliked it. And I think it kind of made them dislike it because they last couple times they talked about this, we were kind of like, I don't know how much we like it. I'm like, I hope I didn't like ruin the game. It's a little race game set in this. Is this Hanna-Barbera or no?
I mean, it's kind of
similar,
nostalgic art, though. I don't know what.
But it's these are all actual characters, though.
Okay, I don't know.
But I can't remember what they are. But nonetheless, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was not very fun. Walking Dead the Dice game, I also played this with Jeff and Jamie.
The never-ending game.
Yes, this is a game where you're like rolling dice, trying to not die, and me and Jamie, we were trying to eat dinner. We were trying, Jeff was waiting for
Jeff
us.
was trying to eat dinner.
So that we could eat dinner, and this game would not end. It's a very fun little game. I did enjoy it, but it was just this funny little anomaly where we could not get this game to end no matter what we did, and it was very fun.
You're both pushing your luck too much.
Yep.
I played this way to Juliet, played with Jamie, and it's an interesting game where you each have some of the information, and you're basically trying to get Juliet to Romeo's at the end of one of the columns, but you don't know which column if you're the Juliet character. And then there's also like these little obstacles and stuff. It's kind of like a card slide game where you have to slide and it creates a gap and you have to move things around. But it's really hard because there's these guards that can get you, and it's really hard to avoid them. So I don't know if we just had like a really bad luck setup for the game, but it was a cool idea. And there's like little dog Romeo and Juliet.
They're so cute.
So it was interesting. It was a neat game.
Cool.
Played on Rest. This is a game where you are, I think I played with Charlie if you're still here in chat. You are playing out cards, some face up, some face down, as a two-player game, and you are trying to gain control if you're one side of these different locations, and if you're the other side, you're trying to like basically get in the way and stop your opponent. And deke them out. So it's very much like in your mind, like you think I'm going over here, but I'm actually putting down these, and each location needs certain colors and values of cards and stuff like that. So it's a very kind of tactical little card game.
Indeed. You played Villagers?
I did. It's a card pyramid making game where you're playing out cards and you're putting out. These will allow you to play other cards, and this is something that like I think I'm starting to grasp, but for whatever reason, I just never know what I'm doing. And I'm like, God, I thought I would score points, but I didn't. But it's cool.
Well, Cole with a hot take in chat. I vehemently disagree, but hey, art is subjective, baby.
Oh, how dare you?
Well, to look, is it look? Whatever. Well, this game was not good. This was a deduction game. I played this with Reggie, with Roll Reggie. Check out his channel. At Dice Tower West, it was like later night. It's like a deduction game where you are flipping over tiles. Basically, these tiles have like fish on them, and there's going to be a black whale and a white whale, and they're basically going to go to the places with the most fish. And so you can kind of deduce what spots can be the most fish by what tiles of fish are there. It was fine. I just think of like other like Oink games or other like quick little deduction games, whatever. This is nowhere near the top of them, and so I never did play this game.
Linnea says, to be fair, I played Villagers a ton, so I'm kind of good. Linnea enjoys nothing more than brutalizing me in that game.
That is accurate.
But I had fun with it. It's cool.
Cool.
Windmill Valley. Yeah, a cool lighter game from Board and Dice, but really cool. Like the action selection system with these two wheels is neat, and then you can upgrade the actions of those wheels. So I love all the ways you can kind of manipulate the things you do for a lighter Board and Dice game. Really solid.
Yeah, I really want to play it some more because we played it a couple times when it first came out because we had to cover it, and we haven't played it since. And I really want to play it again. I like this one.
Wine Cellar was dope. I think this comes out this year, maybe it delivered late last year. This is kind of a set collection game where you're getting these bottles of wine and drafting them, and they're going to have, you know, a style, a region they're from, a value, and you're trying to kind of maximize all these different scoring things, but the wine bottles might have one of the things that's good for you, and the other thing isn't useful for you, and I think you're getting like 9 bottles over the game. It's a really great card drafting game, ultimately. The cards are the wine bottles.
I really liked it a lot.
It's a neat game, though.
Yeah.
Vintage trade art, too.
We played
Roth.
I was like, we're there for a second, because the name's on the front. We played Roth. This is a game by Chip Theory Games, and they're kind of like new. They're doing more imprint studio stuff with Manny Tremblay. This is another Manny Tremblay design, and it's really fun. This is a game where you're kind of an asymmetric faction that can kind of do different things. You have different troops out. It's just area control, but it's pretty accessible, easy to get into. And I actually really liked it. We played it at 2, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, agreed.
Liked it. I'm excited to see the finished product.
Yeah.
I played You're Getting Old. This is one of those ones where, like, I think I played this with our brother and sister. I think. This is like hey, you're a millennial now, which means you're in your mid-30s, and like, here's stuff. I don't remember what you do in the game. It's a party game. I'm sure the company was great and the game was fine.
Before you click again, speaking of Manny Tremblay and Chip Theory games, Neon Rain is a game we played this past year. I don't know how. I must have never logged it somehow.
I guess.
I know I logged it, though. That's super weird. Anyway,
Neon Rain.
It's a game where you're doing video game battles against each other, and it was fun and cool. So 257 new to us games.
Yes,
428 all told. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, very well.
I'm sure there's other ones that didn't.
I'm guaranteed there's ones we missed, but nonetheless.
But anyway, to finish up the new stuff, Yinch, classic gift game. Jimmy from the other room over there showed me Yinch. Really awesome game where you're sliding these rings around and then placing out your color disc. If they can get flipped over to the other player's color, you're trying to make lines of 5 of those. Super awesome abstract game.
Yeah.
That is everything that is new to us.
Oh, y'all.
That we remember.
Old games now. Okay. So now what we're going to do, so that's all the new games. Y'all made it. We did it in 3 hours. We're going to do this really good.
We're going to do this in 3 hours.
We're going to do this very quickly.
I'm so excited.
So basically what we're going to do now.
We're just going to say the name of the game as they scroll by.
We're going to say the name as they scroll by and probably be like, it's good. It's great. Love that game.
We might stop occasionally if it's like...
Yeah. But we're basically going to let it roll. Each of these games here has like 2 seconds to be on the screen. So we're now, get ready, y'all.
Let it rip.
It's going to, we're going to go through a whole bunch right now.
All right. Still serving on vibes.
Yeah,
not anymore
still on vibes. No more coffee. I've been out. Oh, I got more.
Well, now we're wasting time.
Okay, so now, here we go, y'all. All right.
So we've got Samwise Architects.
It's fine.
I really like Samwise Duels.
It's
still
good.
Great. This is so stressful.
Toy Strong is a great solo game.
Can't wait to see more. Metal Artichokes, I love it so much. Abyss, still a great game. We got Acropolis, love it so much.
We can't both be talking about it. That is great.
So good.
I love it so good.
So good.
Arkham what seems great?
Ark Nova, obviously.
Yeah, you're so good. Ohio was really good. I played it for the first time again.
Art Project, still fantastic.
Azul,
still
again,
fantastic.
still good. Bandito, love it. That's one of my favorite.
Just chaos incarnate. Baron Park, best of Walker Harding to date. Beard Break, great two-player game. Beyond the Sun, still never know what I'm doing, but I like it.
Boop's great.
Cat stuff. Botanic, really like it. Played with Karen the other day.
Love Burn Cycle. Just played it again the other day.
Oh my God, Cacao. Phil Walker Harding, praise me.
Calico's great. Cat game quotes.
Cat stuff. Can't stop. Won't stop. Caper, put the disguise on.
Carson classic tile laying game.
Lay the tiles, man. Carnegie.
Carnivores is great.
Cascadia, amazing. Played it with Dave.
Castle Bernie, classic for a reason. Castle Bernie,
the dice game, still fun.
I like this game more than I like this.
Claim's great two-player tier-taking game. Clans Caledonia, all-time great, amazing.
Yep.
Cole Baron,
good game.
Great game, classic. Codenames, all-time great. We play with our sub using wide. Okay, Craig, still great.
Yep.
Cubitos, fun, awesome. Silly stuff. Cheese.
Yeah,
Darkest Journey. I don't know where I am with it. I think I like it. Dice Hospital,
I don't know.
Still fun, interesting. Dice Miner, still great. Played it the first time in a long time.
You like
Dice Veggies, I actually really liked it this time around.
Oh, such
a good puzzle game. Dwarf Magic, the OG, awesome. Dracula Van Helsing, bleh. Draftosaurus, Dino stuff. Draft Right Records, played this so much, I love it so much. Fans,
great.
Maybe a little too long.
Yeah.
Feast for Odin, dope cover alt. 5 Tribes, amazing game. 4 Shuffle, I'll be playing that.
Yep.
Dune Imperium,
trash.
Yeah, I like it. Dungeon Pets, a little old showing its age. Earth,
really good.
Still, yeah, it's good. Foxforce Duet, I love it. Fantastic two-player trick in the game. Framework,
great.
Amazing. Fuji Flash, so good. Choo Choo Train, Ginkopolis, all-time game, so good. Gizmos, better on Board Game Arena. Glass Road, really fun. That was good. Black Forest, Gold West, fun, interesting. Moncala, Grand Ocean Hotel, all-time great. Great Ocean Trail, all-time great. Green Team wins, all-time great. Hadara, solid,
pretty good.
decent. Hadrian's Wall, not as good as the Anarchy. Heat, racing stuff, herbaceous, plants, inside job, trick taking with who? The Isle of Cats, don't like it that much.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Kingdom, it's not as good as It's a Wonderful World.
Indeed.
Inventions,
good. Not my favorite about Middle Sarah.
Jaipur, great two-player card game, so amazing.
Just one, pretty good about play Show Clover.
Combat all-time great.
All-time
so
great.
good. Karuba,
great game.
The pre-roll and right. King Domino, OG classic.
King of 12, slept on, really good. Q, really good.
Legacy U, great solo game, legendary.
I love Legendary, it's great.
Leviathan Wilds, not a great game, but okay. Lorenzo, really liking it now. Lost Ruins of Arnak, of course, it's Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah.
Lucky Numbers, fantastic game that I always lose.
Maracaibo, play parts of Maracaibo.
You know, Marrakesh, great. I want to play it again.
United, love it.
You know how you be doing.
Billy Fury,
it's okay. Mountain Goat, such a good game.
Yeah.
We got My City Roll and Build, really fun. You can play roll and write everything. My Island's really fun. It's followed by Shelby, really fun.
Mission, one of the best games ever made.
Chess stuff.
Oh, I love Nana. It's so good.
Nana.
Next Station London, really good.
That's really good.
Next Station Tokyo, also
my least
really
favorite
good.
of the series, but good.
Really?
New Frontiers, don't like it as much as Roll
New York
for the
Slice is a
Galaxy.
great I Split You Choose game.
New York Zoo, tedious, so bad. Don't like it. Nidavellir.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Namalia, amazing.
Good. Yes, really good. No thanks. One of the all-time greats.
Please to that. Obsession, British stuff. Very good. Oceans.
So much water.
Rainbow Canal,
So much
amazing,
water.
all-time great. Orleans,
really
still
good.
solid.
Still so good.
Paint the Roses, amazing.
It's a
Pandemic.
classic
Come
for a
on
reason.
now.
Patchwork is
Patchwork
also
quilt
good.
stuff. You know what I
Planet
mean?
Unknown, simultaneous Season stuff.
Ocean Explosion,
Stuff
kaboom, great. Powerline,
slept
Hurting
on.
never felt
really
so good.
Probably
Broncos
favorite
Club,
game ever made. Best game ever made.
Koale, Mancala
tough.
stuff, so good. Quadropolis, dude.
Really good. Classic game. Resurrecon is okay.
So good, amazing, great game.
Rococo, great game. This version's great.
Roll for Galaxy is the best Galaxy game.
Root?
Not
my
still
kind of game,
very
but
bad
love
at
it.
that game. Sagani,
You love Sagani.
maybe my favorite of all those
I
games.
know.
Sail, really
trick-taking
fantastic.
game, yes.
Scout, really
Good game,
fantastic.
yes.
Scram, but stay.
It's good.
Like the video. Scythe, no. Sea, Salt, and Paper, I played a lot.
Love
It's
it.
great.
One of the best games ever
amazing,
made.
so
So
good.
good.
So good. Shipwreck Arcana does not work on BGA because I can't remember stuff. Ship by Storm
So
is an
good.
amazing game. Similo Fable, still
played
really fun.
Similo.
Love Similo.
Sky Team,
all
two-player,
good. Landing a
pilot
plane.
stuff.
Slay the Spire,
Video game stuff.
amazing. Smile Islands,
They're small.
don't remember how it works. Small World,
Also small.
rediscovered my love for it. Sellback two-player,
I need
rediscovered
to
my
play it
love for
again.
that.
It
Spellbook
was
Praise B, Splendor Duel two-player, better
Good.
than Splendor ever could
Spots
be.
is great.
is fun with dogs.
So Clover, my favorite one of these kind of games.
Stuff, Space
Space,
Bass,
great.
OG, you know it.
Stone Age, classic for a
OG,
reason.
Super
Super
Mega
Mega
Lucky
Lucky
Box,
Box,
Praise
love it.
B, Surfasaurus Max,
so
poker
good.
stuff.
Tapestry is trash.
I like it. Well, how dare
Targi
you?
is great, two-player game.
Two-player thing.
10 is also a good little game.
This many. Teotihuacan,
Okay,
so
so
good. Terraform Mars, super
still
solid.
good.
That's not a half, but
No
this
writing
is
as fun as it is.
We have Through the Ages. I haven't played that in forever. It's really good. Tobago only works good on BGA. Too many bones.
I
this
really
guy.
like it now.
Tribes of the Wind.
Great
Card
game.
stuff.
Underslept on. Twas trash.
There you go. Turing Machine's amazing. We have Twilight Inscription.
I just played it again the other day.
TI4.
So good.
Zolkin is so good. Oh my gosh. Underwater Cities is so good. Oh my gosh. This is Valbara. Can't remember it.
Vlogma is also very fun though.
Still can't say it. Votes for
Women.
Women. Amazing.
A little
Ship Up for
unbalanced.
Women.
Yeah.
Voice Marco Polo. Amazing, but Nick doesn't like it. War Chest. Interesting chess-like stuff. War of the Ring.
Great game.
Come on now. Wayfarer's Outsiders. My number
so
one all
good.
time. White Castle. My number one from last year.
Yeah.
Wingspan.
Still good.
Bird
Still
stuff.
good.
Witchstone. Witch stuff. Woodcraft. Wood stuff. Yokohama, Japan. Yeah, dude. All right. Yummy Monster Tummy. That is
Yummy,
it.
yummy monster tummy. That is how you do it, folks. Okay? Here's the thing. Did we make it?
Some people.
3 hours on the dot.
Yo, we're so good at our job. Man, that was.
It's 1 o'clock. We started
us,
at
dude.
10. That is 3 hours. We were
If
hoping.
anyone watches that back part on double speed, their ears will bleed.
I don't do it. We already talk way too fast.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. That's how quick you can rapidly
That's how fast
review.
it can go.
But that's how we do rapid reviews from now on out. We're just gonna mention the
They'll
old
be
games.
7 minutes at
Because as you
maximum.
can see, almost all of them were like, it's good, it's good.
And it's fun to be occasionally like, bad. And you're like, wait, why? I'm like, we're moving on. We don't have time.
So here's the thing, y'all. Thank you so much
Thanks
for being
so much
here.
for being
Appreciate you. This was good. Here's the thing. This was 3.5 hours shorter than last year.
Which is
last year we
preferable.
had like 75 less games to review.
So we Crushed it.
We're good at this stuff.
We're good at this stuff. I know that was a lot at the end, but honestly, it's just you just got to rip that Band-Aid off and go through it, right?
Yeah.
That's what we had to do. This is why I subscribe on Patreon. You should too, Cosmic
why.
Pete. We appreciate you. Thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you to everyone who honestly enjoys our particular brand of whatever silliness we
Whatever
do.
things we do.
We have an amazing year upcoming. We're so excited. 2024 year is a year for the record books in terms of board games, and that is awesome. And we hope to keep it going. Next week we will have our anticipated games of the year and kind of talking about the last year a little more in depth,
And
talking
last year
about
was a weird
goals for
one,
the
so
year
yeah.
upcoming and all that jazz. So we'll see you all real soon. Thank you for going through with that. I'm so proud of us, man. I'm so proud. We stuck to it.
Heck
dude.
yeah.
We did the dang thing.
We knew we could.
We knew we could.
We knew we could.
We could do it.
We could.
We could do it.
We could. Yeah, it was fun. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you back next month for Rapid Reviews. We'll be back to normal Rapid Reviews.
Yeah.
So it's been a good time, and we're going to get on out of here.
Yeah.
And we will see you all later. Love you to death. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.